Sweet. I was talking to Yuha about streaming on YouTube the other day. He he's been streaming Claire Obscure over on YouTube and has been sitting at like 20 something viewers regularly. Yeah, nobody says anything in his chat, but he doesn't care. He's yeah, that was really interesting to me. It seems that there's people that are clicking on his streams. He's streaming horizontal, which also surprised me. See, yeah, I think that game is definitely, I mean, it's in the zeitgeist right now. And it thank you. You're live on Webby Pumpkin, right? Why am I not seeing you? Live? Yeah, it's just not showing up. Hello? Liar. Maybe it's Yeah, I don't see Webby Pumpkin live on YouTube. I know. Should it show up just on your home page? I'm wondering if it... The live page, the videos page, the home page. Can't hear Webby. Toby Cat cannot hear you.
LOL. It helps if I have my microphone on, doesn't it, Toby? Sorry about that, Toby. Hey, buddy. How are you?
Isn't Toby Cat... There's a Minecraft YouTuber named Toby Cat, something like that, isn't there? Hi, Bubble Butt. First? I don't think Webby has first.
What's going on with this?
I'm wondering if it only shows up in the shorts feed.
I'm refreshing my broadcasting page, and now I'm going to refresh this and see what happens.
I guess I just can't talk to YouTube chat. That's sorry, YouTube.
This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Hey, Crimsonite, how's it going?
Can't touch this.
Wait, yeah, there it is. It's there. There it is.
It's there.
I see it
It's
on the
there.
homepage. Yep. Right there.
There it is.
That's weird.
There. Wow.
Well, we did it. We're close. Hey, thanks so much for following Bubble Butt.
Did you get here because of the go live notification through Twitch? I never expect anybody to click those, but I hit the tell my followers that I'm live. Yeah, well, there you go. This is my friend Webby.
Wait, you're actually live, Peter?
No, so when you're a guest star, then it'll let you notify your viewers by pressing a button. And I think it's similar to like on Twitch when you go live on your own channel, a little pop-up will show up. It sends out that same notification, but for your channel, but to my people.
Cool. Well, that's a nice feature, Twitch. Way to go. All right, I'm going to do the whole task manager thing and see if there's any instance of Halo running, because it keeps telling me that it's running in the back, or that it's already running, and so it won't let me reopen it. But I see no indication that it is running. Nope.
Hopefully no Robot Tony today. I agree, Bubble. I have changed some behind the scenes settings. I'll be streaming at 720p and at 3000 kilobits per second. I'm hoping I used to stream at that, and then I upped my stream quality. And shortly after that is when we started finding Robot Tony. So I'm hoping that maybe going back will fix it. Who knows? Oh, wow.
Also, agree with this.
Burger.
Halo wasn't running, and we'll see if this works, but Halo wasn't running, but I force closed the Xbox launcher and then reopened it, and now it seems to be letting me do it. So hopefully
that makes sense. Probably just got drunk being somewhere in Task Manager. I will invite you to the game.
Aha, yay. Accept.
Shit.
I'm going to play her. They really... What? Like, how difficult it is to add one letter, you know? Like, I don't know why. Because what's crazy... Wait, hold on.
Are you in my party?
8. I think so. I'm still in the home. I did accept your friend request or your invite, but I'm still looking at like the Halo start now. So let's see. Message of the day. Let's play. Yes, I'm in your party. We're good.
Really?
Yep. But I don't have any game audio. But
there
that's
you are.
Probably my fault. So let me see if I can fix that real quick. This is the important stuff that nobody tells you. I've actually been having an issue with my capture card lately, where I have to deactivate it and reactivate it to get audio. Let's see if it
that's annoying.
Yep, that fixed it. I don't know why it's been doing that, but it's consistent. I'll give it that. It is consistent.
Is it just getting old?
Maybe. I mean, it is kind of old. The thing is, I had this issue with its younger brother, the HD60S. It always lost audio, so that's why I forfeit. That's why I forfeit 4K footage, because I'd rather have the audio be reliable, so I do it in 1080. But now I'm losing audio on this one. And the only thing I can think that's like messing with it is that I'm capturing a PC to a PC. So I'm going to do a theory. I'm going to test a theory next month. I'm actually going to go back to the HD60S, and I'm going to only use it with a console because I'm going to be playing a lot of Switch stuff. And I think that with the Switch, I might not have any issues. We'll see.
Okay.
I mean, I could be completely wrong, but we'll see. Is it Niners?
Somebody
Rods?
said hi in YouTube. I'm trying to. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
Niners.
What did it say?
Hello. Welcome.
Hey. Hello. Who shall not be named. I hope that you're doing well. Did you beat Kingdom Hearts 1? Yes, I did, Spaghetti. I fought Ansem for a long time. I'm actually. Not only did I beat Kingdom Hearts 1, I've gone through all of the cutscenes for Chain of Memories and Days. So I started Kingdom Hearts 2 last Thursday. We played a little bit more of it yesterday. We finally got to Sora and Hollow Bastion in Kingdom Hearts 2 yesterday. So it took us 5 hours to get to Sora, basically.
Yeah. I remember going through all of that, and I had no emotional connection to any of the characters. So I remember you getting into the fight with Axel and being like, I don't want to fight him. And I still don't know who he is.
You really need Days to flesh him out. So, I mean, he's got some... you'll hate him through Chain of Memories. You'll empathize with him in Days. But, yeah, because Chain of Memories is everything that's happening to Sora and how he ends up the way he is. And Days is everything that's happening to Roxas, Sora's nobody. And Roxas builds a really good friendship with Axel. So, yeah. They're misunderstood, man. That's my opinion. Though nobody's misunderstood. I'll call you Prods.
Maybe I'll try to care about them again. Yeah, welcome in, Prods. Hi, Beer Fox, also. I'm going to hit the resume button, and we're going to have plot.
Plot. We're going to be plopped into plot. Love it.
The plot.
Oh, my gosh.
Plot.
Eye holes are full of plot. Actually, they're full of a loading scene. I feel like you promised one thing and delivered another.
Oh, well... just patience. Just a little. You don't need instant gratification. You can wait 5 seconds.
Oh, this is 2025, Peter. Yes, we do. If it's not 6 seconds or less, it's not content.
What happened?
So
all right, chat. We'll get back to you.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna read it in my head because it's a prayer request, and then we'll respond to it. Actually, there's not a whole lot of plot here. This is just a fight.
Find transport. Head to the
True.
So this has been just really horrible. Hubby and I have been trying to have another baby for over a year now. I've suffered 2 losses this year, and now I'm accepting prayers from as many people as I can. It's been really tough. Sorry if this brought down the mood. No, here in the pumpkin patch,
fine.
I pride myself in something I call pumpkin positivity, and the way that the logistics of that, the way that fleshes itself out, is not pretending that things are just always happy-go-lucky and good. It's doing what you just did, redeeming prayer, and not pretending that there's everything's good, but always pointing to the fact that there is always hope. And so, no, definitely we want to pray for you and and encourage you as well. That's hard, That's really hard.
Okay, I found the toggle flashlight button.
Thank you. Oh yeah, I don't know what that is on keyboard. F. Nope, not F. That's a grenade.
Nope.
I may have killed one of our people.
You may have. Yeah, that's a bit wild.
These happen. This happens, right?
It's the button. You'll love this. It's the number 4.
That is so stupid. I can do this in my. Well, actually, I can't do it in my own time because I learned when I joined your game I had to what is the word? Map. I had to remap the buttons on my mouse. So I bet if I did it in my own time and fixed my controls, it would all revert. That's my
Maybe. You can pick up a shotgun here if you like.
Oh, I do like a good shotty. Oh, no! Why is it not switching my weapon? Okay, there we go. We're good. Thank you.
No, that was the assault rifle. You can also have that if you want.
This man is bleeding out, and you stole his only form of defense.
There's a whole locker here of shotguns. He's fine.
He can't stand up.
Well, then why? I left an assault rifle next to him. What did you do?
I left an assault rifle next to him.
So you did.
Godspeed, fellow soldier. I apologize for my for the human that's with me, but I, the Arbiter, will show you humanity.
Get the hell out of these caves.
I'm going to operate your turret because that feels smarter than driving the other Warthog.
I'll get the door, sir.
Okay.
Friendly fire. It was friendly. I was like, hello. Boop.
Oh.
It was like, I don't love this trope, but it was like the trope of a young boy who is smitten by a young lady, so he hits her with all his might.
That's aggressive. Why are you standing in front of the Warthog?
Oh my gosh! It took his helmet off, but he moved.
Why did you do that?
That's did it not work, Peter? I needed results and I got him.
Oh, jeez.
Was that a mortal sin?
No. It's a video game, man.
Well, in a video game, maybe not. In real life, I'm gonna argue yes.
I've made homemade chicken bakes today. Very yummy.
Yeah. Now we're gonna start busting heads.
Every time I read your name tag, I don't know if this is the goal. I don't even know if this is a real song, if I'm being honest with you. But every time I read your name tag, I hear bubble butt. Bubble, bubble, bubble butt. Every time. Does that happen to you, Peter?
Yeah, I think it's intentional.
Oh, I just tried to reload my turret. I'm a real gamer.
That's relatable. I oftentimes just hit the reload button for kicks and giggles.
Me too.
I'll be driving a car sometimes and hit the reload button in real life.
I'm gonna be honest. Your driving is honestly more effective than my shooting. I just hate the reticles in Halo.
Yeah.
I didn't used to mind them, but I think I mind them a lot now. I've been spoiled by other shooter games. I'm not giving this the grace that a 20-year-old game deserves. How old is Halo 3? Maybe I'm lying. Maybe it's not 20.
I don't know.
Watch it be like 17. I'm gonna claim that it's close enough.
It came out when I was starting to be a priest. Like Halo 2 came out.
Wait, you were studying to be a priest?
Yeah, well, with the Legionaries.
You know, I guess I could see that as an option, and maybe you've told me, and I just didn't think about that. But was that like the direction you thought you were going to go with your life? Is priestly duty? Oh man, tell me more, Peter. I am invested now. So what happened? Why not? Why not priest?
Well,
I'm getting tore up here.
Yeah, me too. Hold on.
Ah! Well, 'tis a flesh wound.
Let me go find somewhere. Oh, we lost our Marine too.
Yes, it's a real song. Okay, waiting to respawn.
Well,
I wish that it would let me spectate you because this is a. Not only am I dead,
it's
I'm in
weird.
a terribly unflattering position. I mean, it was full on like cheerleader competition splits just laid out there. Razzle dazzle! Razzle dazzle!
I forgot that you could be stolen out of your
Oh yeah, you can be
ships in
you
this
can be
game.
yeeted.
Yeah. Ow!
What we need is a Banshee.
Somebody's got a
I
rocket.
never liked the. I can't imagine driving this thing on keyboard and mouse, but I never.
I'm dead.
Shoot, I tried to get off just in time. I never liked driving the Warthogs.
Yeah.
How does it control on keyboard and mouse?
I mean, you just have to overcompensate when you want to turn. Recognize that it's going to be glidey.
The thing that was weird for me, of course, I only ever drove it on a controller.
Sure.
Oh, I'm about to die. I gotta get off of that. Okay. Was the way you had to use the sticks, because like the front two wheels were like independent of the rear two wheels.
No, it just kind
That
of
time
goes.
I didn't spawn back on there with you. Interesting. I'm gonna go try to take that land turret. Never mind. I'm gonna die instead. Beer Fox, are y'all playing on Legend? Wait for it because you might be lactose intolerant dairy. Wait, what?
Legendary. He's asking if we're on legendary. No, we're on heroic.
Oh, Legend. Yeah.
A level up from normal, but
Thank you,
not
Beer Fox.
full on sweat mode.
I am in a category known to many gamers as slow. Oh, I tried to catch some air. Yeah, Peter asked if I wanted to play on this mode, and I honestly told him, however much you want to carry me. I would have been just as happy. I mean, we didn't have to play it on easy, but I would have been just as happy to play it on little brother mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then chat would be disappointed.
Yeah, because they're super excited about watching my like flattering death poses.
Well, they watched me play Dark Souls.
Oh man.
It's the category
on
known
Resident
as Turbally Online.
Ooh.
Did you want to jump back into Warthog?
My cousin had that. They cleared it right up with some penicillin. No, I'm taking this guy. I have a vendetta against him at this point. Get out of there! Get out of there! Ha 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 ha! Me in there. That didn't work, Peter.
I can tell. Oh, I think that we have to leave our Warthog here anyways. That's disappointing.
Oh man, but we just became friends. Is there fall
Whoops.
damage in Halo?
Yes.
Oh, great! Oh, landed in water. Didn't count. There is no surface tension on water. It is a myth.
That's right. You understand.
This actually worked quite nicely. Now, how do we get across that?
Somebody get that guy.
I'm figuring that out.
I figured it out.
Ooh.
Oh, he's a good shot. Oh, a
I've got
grenade.
a beam
poop
rifle.
grenade. Is there not a way to throw the grenades back in Halo 3?
I don't think so.
Well, that's a sad, sad thing.
I mean, you can turn around and throw it. Would be how I would do it.
What?
If you want to throw a grenade behind you, most people would just like turn around.
Oh no, I see the confusion. Not throw one behind you. Like if an enemy throws a grenade at me in like Call of Duty or something, I can pick that grenade they threw up and throw it back at them.
Oh, I see.
That's what I mean when I say throw back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what your interpretation is acceptable. I'm glad that we had this moment because we're gonna have a lot more of this differing interpretation conversations later tonight. I
We
foresee
sure
it.
are. Yeah, that's a good precedent.
And I'm glad you set. I was exactly what I was gonna say. I'm glad you set the precedent and the bar high for how good you are at understanding things.
I found a way to move our. I found a way, brother.
Oh, let's go. Well, just call me Will, because Peter found a way. Oh, you're gonna do the turret? Fine, that's fine. That's fine.
You can take a spot if you want.
You know, honestly, I might be a better shot this way, to be honest.
Okay.
Can I switch weapons on here?
You should be able to.
It doesn't let me use the scope on it, but that's fine.
No.
Somebody. Oh, yes, I loved these guys. Oh, no, it blew up. I was going to take that.
Well, I lost my marine.
Oh, now it really is the few, the proud. I shot him in the head and he still didn't die. That's integrity.
Get in, buddy. Good work.
I'm trying to get better at being discreet and like not just running and gunning like is my instinct to do.
Running and gunning can be a lot of fun, though.
It's my preferred way to play. I feel like our play style would be very different if we were playing something like Gears of War. Remind me, have you played the Gears of War series?
I've technically played a tiny bit, but not much. Like at a friend's house, I was at a friend's house over like visiting him for a week, and he had Gears of War, and we played it a couple times. But that's it.
Is this like way back in the day? I say way back, like on the system it came out on. Like we're talking 360.
No, I don't think so. This was back in like. This would have been, I don't know when. Hey,
Well, it
buddy.
couldn't have been older than the 360, right?
No, I'm
Or
trying to
did the
think
first
like
one
this.
come on
Oh no, they're the guys.
I got you, bro.
Don't shoot my friend. Don't shoot my gunner. Good job, buddy.
Oh, there's more. There's more. Look alive. They're surprisingly
shot.
tough for basically mods.
Yeah.
Oh, that frag. That's okay. He got dead, so who's really the
He got dead. It's a good trade.
Not for him.
What are we supposed to do here?
I think we can walk through it, but we can't drive through it or shoot through it.
I see.
Ooh, a lot of bullets there. Let's switch to that. Yeah.
Oh, hi. It's
good stuff.
the truth. Wow.
When the dust settles, we will all see what I already know. Here lies the path,
Oh, we got company.
the start of
Never
our
mind, your guy took him out. Way to go, guy.
Yeah, he's just gonna hang out, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta take down the barrier. How do we take down the barrier? Ah!
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Chief.
Oh!
I mean, it was
Alright.
just a theory. Ah, foot.
Yeah,
No
it
kidding.
worked.
This boy really needed my supplies, Chief. But I'm sure they'll be plenty happy to see you. Head on
That
through the
felt
tunnel and
good.
give those
Matt
boys
Pack,
a hand.
why didn't you let me audition?
Yeah.
That's
Although,
okay.
does anybody
we have
watch
Dollar
Game
General,
Theory
Matt
anymore?
Pat. Does anyone watch what?
Game Theory since Matt Pat left?
Honestly, I don't. I do watch Food Theory though. I
Really?
still like it a lot. Yeah. I like the guy who took over Food Theory a lot. I think he does a great job. And I got into cooking at the right time that it just works out for me because he was already pretty much the guy whenever I started watching Food Theory to begin with. So it didn't feel like I was really departing anything.
Yeah.
And then I watched
Master
Adam
Chief,
Ragusa.
Finally,
That
good
dude,
connection.
he's awesome.
Truth has
If
excavated a
if you're
forerunner
into
artifact.
food
You
YouTubers,
have to assume it's the
recommend.
Keep
Gotcha.
pushing to the town of Boyd, Chief.
Oh, I
Your
lost my
supply
other
birds will
gun.
meet you in the next valley.
Unfortunate. Oh, these are our guys. Get to town of Boy. Get over here, you. Time to die. But Earl had to die. Nah, 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 nah. I bet you know that song. You live in the South.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I have no idea what you're saying.
What? Well, you haven't always lived in the South. I take it all back.
That's true.
It's just an
That's
old
true.
90s country song. Out of ammo. Time to
Oh,
switch.
we got a jetpack, brother.
We do? What? I don't have a jetpack.
No. Like a brother that wants to kill us has a jetpack.
That doesn't feel very brotherly.
Well, you know, he just wants us to be a martyr for the Lord.
What kind
Very
of a
brotherly.
Delphos are you? This must be that kin type y'all keep talking about. Kidding. Hey, I don't.
How you
Liz!
doing?
Hey, Webster's playing Halo. It's Peter's fault. I am playing Halo, but it's Peter's fault.
Yep. I'm a nerd.
True story.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the P in P Tony stands for pocket liner.
What?
You said you were a nerd. I'm just giving you nerd accessories.
Pelicans are inbound with heavy weapons.
Do you remember how to melee? Because I don't. Not.
I think
it's not
it's
that button. Is
Q.
it Q? It's Q. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was trying to click down on the scroll wheel. That doesn't do it.
Over here.
We're getting somewhere. Here, use your grenade, dummy. Oh gosh. Oh, I died. Oh, sorry. It's not playing the audio, and I don't know why, Liz. It used to play an audio for me. Something's been up, and my theory is that Mix It Up and Twitch's, what is that, API? Is what it is? They're not communicating anymore. That's my theory. Because anything that you launch from the app or from my bot, like with like an exclamation command, that all still works. But everything that's being launched via channel points, or that you store with channel points, none of that's working anymore. Shaboom goes the cannon. Do you know that reference, Peter?
No, I got destroyed. No, I don't know that reference.
I'm gonna rename the Tangled Christianity pre-show to Teach Peter References.
Sounds obnoxious. My chat is already trying to do that.
Well, then they're gonna fit in great here. Just keep telling them you're going live.
Partial credit for that one.
I will say this does feel like classic nostalgic Xbox parties that I never experienced as an actual kid. But this must be what
Yeah.
everybody always reminisces about, is this feeling
Yeah.
of getting together and playing Halo.
Yeah, it's pretty cozy.
I played
Speaking
an
of-
awful lot of single player games. So.
Yeah, me too.
Go ahead. Go ahead with what you were gonna say.
I was just reading Beer Facts. Speaking of country, a Chris Stapleton song just came in on the ad roll. He's making
Whoa.
references.
I don't. What Chris Stapleton song was it? I don't really listen to much music in general anymore, and rarely is it country. But I might know it. I do be listening to a lot of Broadway though. I like show tunes and Broadway songs, which was what the reference was from that I made earlier. It's from Hamilton, the musical.
Oh, you rep. Oh, well, there you
Yeah,
go.
I
should
said,
know
"Shaboom
that.
goes the cannons." Is what I
Yeah,
said.
all right. It's coming back now.
Oh, so you know you're familiar with Hamilton?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, more or less.
Oh, there's a tank coming in, Peter.
Oh boy,
It's the way that I'm running from.
makes sense. I would also run for mechanic personally.
True story. Oh shoot! I keep accidentally hitting F when I'm trying to reload. Like I'm like fat fingering it. I hit R also, but the little like soft part of my finger is also hitting F. I'm gonna adjust. I'm supposed to be a real gamer. Maybe this always happens, but F doesn't do anything on Fortnite.
Yeah, that's valid. Can you pay respects with that?
With F?
That was a reference.
Oh, teach me. I love references. Reference time with Pumpkin Tony. Is that a reference to some crazy obscure thing? I've been referencing like mainline stuff, and you've been like, what? Tell me what this is.
No, F to pay respects is very mainline. Chat, tell him.
Okay. Tell me,
I
chat.
think it was Call of Duty at the end of a Call of Duty game, or maybe at the beginning there was somebody who died or a funeral, blah 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 blah. And so it was one of those slightly interactive cutscene things, and it told you to go up to the coffin and then press F to pay respects. And so the internet for a while, it was a big meme. Press F to pay respects.
Well, I gotta see it. I'm waiting to respawn to stay alive.
Oh, I'll walk this way. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeepers.
I know that reference. F. Here, I'm pressing F. Are you respecting me?
I am respecting you. I'm running away.
I feel thoroughly respected.
Welcome back. Get
Thank you.
respected.
I feel so respected right now. In retrospect, I've been respected by the best. I don't know. I was meant to be an average gamer, not at all a rapper. It's a double entendre. Ooh, I like mine.
What's the second entendre?
Fail. F's.
Oh, I'm out of ammo again.
Rip.
Never mind. I've got ammo again.
R.I.P. and F asterisk asterisk asterisk.
I don't think I encountered it that way. Don't like that. Ah! Bright lights.
So yeah, we're planning on seeing Hamilton live. Wasn't my pick, to be completely honest.
Very
But we're
nice,
gonna
very
see it.
nice.
What's cool about it is we're gonna see it in the original theater. Won't be original cast, though. Like a month and a half after we see it, Leslie Odom Jr. is coming back to reprise his role as Aaron Burr for like, I don't know, like a handful of weeks or something like that. So we're kind of just gonna miss him.
Yeah. Yeah, Bear Fox, I'm fine with that. It's your problem. It's not mine.
Yeah. I think your brain is lovely, like Swiss cheese, and just there's rot in it, and all cheese
Holy?
is moldy. Holy, woo, that's beautiful. Now that's
Did
how
you-
that's how you go from glory to glory, right there, Peter. Very lovely. All right, time to deal wield on this thing.
This is the wrong weapon. I don't want it.
Oh, nasty. Boom! Oh gosh, I died. I went boom again. That's a Spyro reference that you should get if you would just continue playing it. To be fair, though, you got to get all the way to the third game on the second world to get to that reference. So you're gonna play all of them. That's a lot of hours just for that reference.
Are you saying Spyro?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
said,
I don't.
I went boom again was the reference. There's a world in the third game, which I think is one of the best games. So if you're gonna play one to like give it a go, some of the later ones you might enjoy better. The first one is very much like we made this game in 1994. This is our first 3D platformer, and it's great, especially when you consider they made this game in 1994. It's really good, but the third one is just really fleshed out. It's just
coming
long.
in.
There's a lot of a fair bit of backtracking.
And boy, Chief, but this warthog should help you punch on through.
Oh, we get a new warthog.
Aw, yeah.
Yeah, boy. Oh. We get multiple warthogs.
Oh man.
Do we get
Riding
multiple
Wardy.
people?
Gotta get me
Hey.
riding Wardy.
Help me out here.
Riding Wardy. Which one are you driving? I'm gonna go to that one.
Shotgun.
Beautiful.
Sounds great. Get in, buddy. Let's do it.
Oh, that's how you know something's really gonna happen. We got the Halo theme. Chugga-chugga-con. Chugga-chugga-con. All right, I'm just gonna say it. I think that the keyboard and mouse experience on this game might be the subpar way to play it.
It was definitely designed for a controller. I'm dead, by the way.
I also am dead. See you on the other
Oh.
side.
All right.
I've contemplated switching back, like, just to see.
Yeah.
It feels more intuitive. Man, I'm wondering if the aiming will be better, because I really feel like the reticles obviously are not designed for keyboard and mouse, and so their lack of you're fine. Their lack of oh yeah, their lack of like what is the word I'm looking for here? I'll come up with it. Not precise, but like if I were to make precise an adverb. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like a smaller reticle is nicer for games that use keyboard and mouse because you have such finite movement. But if you're gonna have like aim assist on a controller, then you can get away with a big old fat reticle because it's gonna kind of throw you where you need to be anyway.
Interesting.
As long as you're in the circle, you might hit it. I guess is what I'm getting at.
Your friends is saying maybe it's just your. Oops, sorry. Is that the way we're supposed to go?
I don't know, honestly.
Looks like it.
I don't think it's my sensitivity because it's actually kind of low. My issue is that it's not so bad on this like charger or whatever this thing is called that I'm on. My issue is that I'm used to like a crosshair reticle, and I'll show you. I get things like this or this reticle, and it's just not like I have the point of contact is a circle the size of a dime, you know? Where I really want a crosshair, you know? Yes, exactly. Did you figure out where we were supposed to go? Oh, I guess we are.
No, I died. Yeah, you just go down.
I'm bringing my charger.
Do it.
Bet you know that reference. If you're a nerd.
I do know that reference.
I'm a late in life Star Wars watcher, though, to be honest. Oh, we got another tank. Be advised, a tank will be coming our way.
Yeah, I know it. They're annoying. I'm on my feet right now. Oh, hi, buddy.
There's a version of this vehicle that levitates. Oh gosh, that's not good. And I wish I could remember what it's called because I like it better. It's not the Banshee. It looks like a baby Banshee. Halo's reticles are weird though. M&K feels tight in the face. I can understand the annoyance with aim. The Ghost.
Oh.
That's it. The Ghost is fine. What made you guys want to play
Ghost
this?
is fine.
Peter. It's 100% Peter. He wanted to play it, and it has online. It's on Game Pass and it has online multiplayer.
Yeah.
And it streams decent. The Twitch research tab says it does. Maybe. It's also easy to jump in and out of. We do a podcast right after, so it's kind of easy to checkpoint.
This is
Whereas
just one of those games. Oh, jeez.
I would love to play Sea of Thieves, but with Sea of Thieves, you play till you're done. You just never know if what you're gonna be doing. Have you ever played Sea of Thieves, Peter? You might like it.
I have not.
I really like it.
I'm dead, by the way.
Oh, I better get out of here. Poop. Oh, oops.
Oops.
It's a very slow ride.
All right, sales pitch for Sea of Thieves. What do you got, Webby?
It's so much better than when the game came out. It's fully open world. There's some grinding. I know you like grinding as you make your way towards Pirate Legend. It's really a game of cosmetics, but it is gorgeous for what it is, especially if you've got your PC or if your console has the chops for it. It's literally a pirate sim. It's a little cartoony, but it's a pirate sim. You set out on the ocean and do whatever you want, and it's awesome. There are 3 factions. There are 3 original factions. There's actually 5 factions now. Get to level 50 in any of the... I may have lied. Get to level 100 in any of the any 3 of the 5, and you become a pirate legend, and you unlock this whole underground area. But anyway, they are the Merchant Guild, where you are like a seafarer that delivers packages or picks up different things. There is the Hunters Guild, I think it's called Hunters Guild, and you fish and fight Megalodon and Krakens, which is awesome, and other types of things like that. There is the Gold Hoarders, which is kind of self-explanatory. That's treasure chests and diamonds and rubies and things like that. Very traditional pirate, so you can do that. And then there is the Order of Souls, which is very like Pirates of the Caribbean-esque in that you deal with like skeletons and lost spirits and ghosts and things like that. And you can do whatever you want at any particular time. There's also incredible crossovers that are just free that come with the game. One, if you ever have played any of the Monkey Island games, there's a complete Monkey Island crossover that's pretty good. And there is a full Pirates of the Caribbean crossover, which is very, very good. It actually has Jack Sparrow in it and everything. Just tons and tons of hours to be had. And if you suck at the game, they've also released a thing called Friendly Tides, where you can have a chance to kind of get used to the controls and get used to the game, because it is full PvP. If you run into another pirate and they want to take you out and you suck, they're going to take you out. So Friendly Tides only has you on the server. You still can level up to a certain point, I think to level 40, but you level up slower. You get less experience for each thing that you do. Yep. I hope that convinced you. Oh wait, it's very grueling and hard to get to level, or to get to Pirate Legend. I know how you like those games that are really bad and painful. It took me years. I am a Pirate Legend finally. It took me years to get there. I wonder how many hours I have in the game, because I started playing it on Game Pass, and then I liked it so much that I bought it on Steam so I could play it on Steam Deck. I like it a lot. That says a lot when the game that you can play for free is so good that you buy it again on another system. Of course, they make it easy because you sign in on Steam into your Microsoft account, and all of your progress comes over, including achievements. Like as soon as I logged in, my Steam was like kadoosh, 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 just hitting me with achievements, which is nice.
Oh, jeez.
The Play Anywhere aspect of just Microsoft in general is really good.
I'm dead, by the way.
All right, I will stay alive. All right, are you sold?
I'm alive!
Yay, I'm alive, I'm alive. See if these will be fun one to see y'all play. Hey, Philly SB plays that a ton. Oh, she does, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
That. I go through spurts of it, though. It's definitely a game that I will never be it'll be kind of a forever game for me. I'm dead. In that I think I'll always come back to it. But, well, we'll get a fresh start.
It's never...
But it's like, I'll always come back to it, but I can't play it non-stop. Like, I play it for hours and hours and hours, and then I take like a couple months off, and I come back and I'll play it a lot. And then I take all the time off. No worry, Dune Tyson. How you doing, buddy? I hope you've been doing well. Dude, have you ever played Halo? I feel like you'd like it. It's like a classic. All right, are you convinced to play Sea of Thieves, man?
Me? Oh,
yeah.
No.
Oh, I guess my sales pitch wasn't very good.
Well, I think you were selling to Spaghetti. I didn't ask for me. I just saw Spaghetti say, sell me on Sea of Thieves.
Oh, I see. Because I played it and was super pumped for it, but just gave up quick. Depending on when you played it, Spaghetti, that makes a lot of sense. I played it when it came out, just because it was on Game Pass. The game was beautiful, but very empty. Like this big old, literally the ocean, like a big old open world, nothing to do in it, you know? So that was a problem, but it's slap full now. Now I feel like there's too many things to do. And it's a lot easier to level up because of that. Because there's so many things that you can do that give you XP that you can grind your levels so much better than you used to be able to. And the alliance system works a lot better, so you can make a full fleet. You can also own your own ship. So if you buy like a captain ship, you get other types of perks and benefits at the sales points or posts, which is so much nicer. Like if you are a captain, you can sell everything to a new group called the Sovereigns. Hey! The Make Me Dab thing played. It's working again. That's weird. The Sovereigns, you can sell everything to them, and they will resell it to the appropriate guild, so
I'm dead.
you don't have to just carry things to each individual person. Makes it so much better. I'm gonna try to stay alive. Oh, I see you, 117.
Oh yeah, I'm back.
I gotta get one of these charges again because they are trying to plow me down.
There you go.
Time to plow them down.
Do it.
Sea of Thieves is very good though. I don't know if you'd like it honestly, Peter.
No, I don't think I would.
I'm trying to think of any games that are similar to it that you have liked. And I can't think of any. Remind me of how you felt about Ark.
I played it a tiny bit, not much.
And you didn't really care for it?
No.
Great. Sea of Thieves is nothing like Ark. That's good.
Oh, good. I believe you.
I really can't think of a good example of something that it is like that.
There's 2 tanks? Goodness.
Yeah. Maybe I
Oh
can
no,
get
I
him off
died?
this charger.
Well,
Alright, we should get you back.
thank
But I'm
you.
not really sure where
back.
I'm supposed to be going.
I think we have to kill more tanks. There's like 2 more tanks here now.
Alright. I have a theory for how to do that. Wish I could run. Wouldn't that be nice?
I know.
Oh, I should have saved that for up here. Oops.
It would,
Oh, is
it would
that
be
out of
cool if you could
commission?
have the sabotage thing. Sabotage thing. You're able to sabotage. You mean like put a grenade inside the tank? You can do that.
That's a great idea, actually. I'm doing it. I've got the clingy ones. One grenade on. Second
Nice.
grenade on. That's all I have, but
If you are able to jump on top of it, you can plant a grenade inside.
I think we got him. Not only that, I'm operating it now. Wait, I'm just operating the turret. I want to operate the tank.
Oh,
Got it.
dead.
All right, I'm driving the raft. You want to take the turret on top?
let's do it.
Let's take that other tank out.
This one's already dead.
Where's the next stop?
He's up top.
Okie dokie. Sorry, it's very slow, but I'm going.
Oh, it's,
June,
it's
what you been
actually
playing
faster
lately?
than walking. Oh my!
Oh, I'm dead. Stay alive. I'm back. Coming back to drive.
We won!
We won! The world turned upside down. This is really difficult to drive uphill, but we're doing it. You want to go to New Mombasa? It's going to
Let's
take us a while.
do it.
It's going to take a
How
while to
many
get there,
miles?
but...
That's-
114 kilometers. Ah, speak American. Gosh darn it.
Chief, the gate to
It's like
Boy
60
is dead
miles.
ahead. Smash the roof blockade.
You would know that.
Open her up.
Is this where we're
Yeah.
supposed to go or no?
Probably.
Oh yeah, they're enemies. Let's go. I can't go across with this
Trying
cannon,
to cut
but
a Roblox game.
I am
That's
gonna make
exciting.
as much damage as possible.
Huge.
Well, that's cool, buddy. Is
What
there much
kinda-
coding in Roblox? I know it's like its own thing.
Yeah, I think it's like visual coding.
Cool.
What kind of game are you gonna make?
Yeah, I want to know that too. Great question. Good answer, Steve. See if I can
Thanks.
get past this, even though it definitely doesn't want me to. Do you ever try to do that? Just brute force your way into
Oh,
something
yeah.
you know the game doesn't intend for you to do?
Oh yeah, especially in Halo. That's what Halo is built for.
I think it's working, honestly.
Yeah, well, I think we're making progress. A horror game of some kind. Very nice.
You know how I feel about spookies.
It's your favorite?
Not at all.
Use your... What about your dash thing? Your boost?
I have a dash?
Yeah.
How do I do that?
I think it's just shift.
That did nothing. What is this?
There
Oh,
you-
figured it out.
There you go.
It's right click.
Oh.
Oh, we're doing this, Peter. We're getting through this.
Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion.
We did it.
Yeah, Webby. You and I, we can play Spooky.
Never heard of it. That just sounds like a glorious time.
It is a thing.
Have you ever played any of the like low budget scary games like Poppy's Playtime or Emily Wants to Play? I died.
Emily, no.
I am weak. I am dead.
Don't be dead. Be alive.
Oh yes, as I was. Turret's gone.
You see us, really. He's in a tank.
The dialogue is so dumb.
Yeah. Must have been the wind.
What is that?
Fresh shotgun. Love to see it.
I can't move it no more. Wait, maybe I can now. Yep. Boom. So what kind of, you don't know what kind of horror game yet?
What, me? Oh, him.
No, Dune. Aw, I was gonna bring
Kablooey.
my tank in there.
Why
okay.
were you tanking so
we
long?
made it.
Music to
Ah!
my ears, Commander. What about the Ark?
Fully uncovered,
Ark?
sir.
Then we don't have much time. Marines, the
Listen to
Prophet
that
of Truth
drums.
doesn't know it yet, but he's
That's
about
how you
to
know
get
we're doing it
kicked
right.
off his throne. You will take our city back and drive our enemy into the graves they've been so happily digging.
Why are
One
they in our
final
city?
effort is all that remains.
But why are they in our city, though?
I have no idea actually. I would assume it's just part of. Like, do we have something that they need? I don't know.
I don't know. Ooh, factory. I love factories. Oh. Why? I'm
Chief, the Prophet of Truth has found the Ark.
riding shotgun.
Our only chance of stopping him is
I like
a
a
surprise
factory.
aerial assault. Clear
You
the
like
sector
factory
of Covenant
games? Well,
anti-air
let me
defenses.
introduce you to my buddy
Make a hole
Peter.
for the Admiral's ship.
He's like the
Yeah.
Good
factory
hunting.
connoisseur.
He's out.
Yeah, different kind of factory, though.
No,
Wait.
no, embrace it.
Destroy first anti-air wraith.
A scary factory game where the scariest part
Ready when
is
you
that
are,
you're not
Chief.
going to make your
Open
deadlines.
the door, take point, we'll cover you with the 50.
You're working on a building thing.
I got it open.
Got a pistol? That's terrible at boring.
Gentle encouragement. Our lord's holy relics.
Someone says that their lords are doing something. Bless you, child. I hope that you feel better.
Thank ya.
Oh, I don't think I told you, but I went back and finally listened to Jimmy Akin's first impressions of. Well, there's nothing that way. I guess there's nothing where you came from either.
Yeah.
I listened to Jimmy Akin's first impressions of Poblio.
Very nice.
Yeah,
What'd you think?
I pretty much agree with everything he said. I think he was graceful and also like fair in his assessments of what we have seen, but also just the fact that there's a lot we just don't know yet. We can't know yet.
People get really excited about saying, well, the Pope's going to do this and the Pope's going to do that. Listen, brother, just give him a second. A second.
Like a building tool. I think we're on this building thing, like a building tool. Oh, okay. Like learning to use one, or you're offering a building tool to your players?
I see.
Can I open this door?
If you
Or the
melee the
warthog?
shield in hero or heroic, it breaks your shield.
Wait, what? Governor just got wasted?
Really?
That's what happened to me. You can sneak up behind them and hit them, and it probably won't happen. But if you break the shield, it hits you.
Wow.
You just love taking people's guns, huh?
No, I was examining the guns on the ground. I promise.
Mm-hmm. Only a few feet away from corpses.
I mean, that's true.
That did it, sir. Push forward.
I'm never gonna take you to ancient Egypt.
Why?
I feel like you'll be a grave robber.
Anything that's not nailed down?
Take some name.
Doing it.
You
Killing
should
it.
add conveyor belts.
Yeah. What he said. That's like your favorite part of factory games.
I
isn't
love
it?
conveyor belts. Yeah,
Man,
they're very
yeah.
satisfying.
You ever been to Disney? There's a couple of rides where you just get on one.
I think that's just called a roller coaster.
No. It's like in line to the roller coaster,
Atmospheric
or like
disturbance
really
is
at the
intensifying
exit
above
line
the
to try to
artifact
get you into the
Admiral.
gift shop faster.
Sierra
You're walking, and then all of a sudden you step onto
Moving as fast as
kind
you
of
can,
like
sir.
a
I know
treadmill,
he'll get it done.
and then you're
Uh-huh.
going real fast. Because usually
Uh-huh.
people keep walking while they're on it, so you're like, you feel like the Flash. It's awesome.
Are you talking about just like how they have those? I mean, they have those in whatchamacallits?
Yeah,
Airports.
I guess.
I got
I've never
there.
been in an airport, so but probably.
You've never been in an airport?
Never flown, bro. Remember?
No, I don't.
What am I gonna do? Just walk
Okay.
around it? Like, hey guys, I'm here on my tour. I'm here visiting.
Yeah. Just want to check you guys out. Heard your fun time.
Yeah.
I've made it so that if you stay on it too long, you go in a lava.
Going, sir.
That's
He
weird.
said
For
fire.
us to clear the anti-air.
We have to kill the tank.
I'm trying to
there's
sneak up
multiple
behind
tanks.
it with grenades again. Oh, goodness gracious. I peeked around the corner and there was a fireball coming my way. Must have been
Yep,
on Dune's
I
conveyor
think he
belt.
saw you. Ghosts! We love ghosts.
Oh, there's ghosts?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. I'm gonna go get
There's
myself
two
one
of
of
them
those.
that are alive.
Oh, yes. It's on now. I love ghosts. I love them because you can strafe. When apparently you
Yeah.
can only strafe when the ground is level, but you can strafe.
You sure can. Oh, you're
That
dead.
away, Chief. Target destroyed.
Yes,
Oh,
I am.
I'm also dead.
Move to the next area.
Moved on to the great battlefield beyond.
Atmospheric disturbance is intensifying above the
I
artifact
love that
Admiral.
battlefield.
Sierra 117.
Moving as fast as you can, sir. I know he'll get it done.
I have gone on to the great battlefield beyond. I am back.
Welcome
oh,
back.
snap. The warthog ran me over. I spawned in
bit
front of
rude.
the warthog. Well, they have reinforcements coming.
Well, Oh, you're dead. Oh my goodness.
No, I'm back. I'm
You're back.
I'm back.
You should now add little workers.
Why can't they be like big workers? Like
Well, I was
full-size
gonna-
workers.
I was thinking like Oompa Loompas, you know? That's
Oh yeah. But
But
since
Oompa
it's a
Loompas.
horror game, they'll be called Spooky Dookies.
Yeah.
Admiral's waiting for us
Couple
to clear the
spooky dookies.
anti-air.
Spoopy doopy. Watch us go boo. Dead.
Press F to plant grenade. Get destroyed. Yeah, like scary ones.
Yeah. But not too scary. Like a healthy amount of scary. I gotta quit hitting shift, man. And dropping stuff
know,
that I don't
right?
need to drop. Posture check. Got it. I am a spooky one. How about you? Get him, P-Tony the Snack. You get it. I'm sorry, I
did
think I
it.
hit you a couple times because I was still shooting at the seat and then you got on the seat. Yes, sir. Oh, I was gonna try to grab that, but
Target
it is e-waste now. Oh,
Destroy all the wraiths.
we got banshees.
Come here, Mr. Banshee.
Said destroy all the wraiths. I don't see another wraith. Do you?
I think we already did that. It was just catching up.
Nice.
Oh, there's another ghost over here, maybe? It looks pretty beat up. So does this one, actually.
Yeah. The banshees are cool too if you can get one, but I see them in the distance still. I don't know if it's gonna come back. Alright, I'm letting the computer drive. That'll probably take me to the right spot. Oh, he is.
Look at you go.
This computer is
yep.
the worst driver ever. What the heck, guys? I can't get out. I killed one. What?
Amazing.
I accidentally killed him, and then the other guy said, "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas." This
Yep,
game
that
has
was
aged
clearly
so
your
good.
fault. That's right.
I'm not
that's
a
your
heretic,
gun.
unless you ask Peter.
Just keep coming.
Check your fire!
Uh-huh.
Chief!
I've been talking to Chad about with all the
Flush him out, sir.
well, yeah,
I found a golden ostrich.
a gold-
I don't know what. Oh, I broke it. I spy. 1 of 3. Keep an eye out for a golden ostrich. There's 2 more apparently.
Okay. His friend, I guess.
Dead.
Oh, you died.
That demon must be destroyed! Don't let it escape!
Let it? What do you mean it? It's quite rude. Howard. Oh
He picked up the machine gun that I dropped. That's wild. That they
Hurry
interacted that
before any
well.
more Covenant show up.
no! Huh. Very fun. Okay, what do they want? What do they want? They said
Low
something.
flying airplane noises. When do we want them? Meow.
I heard somebody say, what we want? A word that means something different when you say it twice. When do we want it? Now, now.
I like that one.
Maybe this way?
I think so. I saw it say it said checkpoint. So
Those last ones had us.
A rocket launcher? That's fun.
whoa, that is a snack. Snack.
What else you got for us here?
Phantom overhead.
Sandwich would be nice. All right, I'm shooting my machine gun. Oh no! I don't want to die yet. Bugs to the left of me.
Flies are
to the right,
annoying.
here I am. Just shooting creatures in.
I think that guy's gonna die. He's getting like a whole porcupine. Wow.
Oh, goodness. Human weapon, let's go. I hear that all the time.
Bam, 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 bam.
Like the warning that you're about to die. That's pretty much
Oh.
that's my resting state.
I have defied gods and demons.
Oh, that's a
alright.
mortal sin.
Yeah,
Let's ride.
or at least half of it is.
Oh, all right, on the four-wheeler we go. Vroom, vroom.
Wow.
You gotta move fast and punch hard.
Mongoose. I don't think I've got a rocket launcher guy on my mongoose.
We got anti-air raids in the next lake bed, Chief.
Oh, you turn with the mouse. That's
Oh, great, there's more.
Yeah, you just turn where you want to go, and it'll steer towards you.
I've already died.
Aw. Well, that's. Oops.
One down, one to go.
Get back on, buddy. Get back on. Get back on. You shot me.
Oh, stay alive, wavy pumpkin. Stay alive, wavy pumpkin. Oh, it's no good no more. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna try to run some people down.
Man, I'm so annoyed by Mr. Rocket Launcher. Is he still alive? He better not be. I was trying to get him to jump onto the back of my mongoose, and he shot the mongoose with his rocket launcher. Ouch.
Have you heard any more from Christopher lately in chat? I was thinking about him this week.
No, I have not. He never
said
came over to my
something.
chat.
He said something that I remembered early in the the last Tuesday stream, and it built some compassion in me for him. And now I can't remember what it was, which is sad because it did truly build compassion in me. So I'm trying. I really would like to remember what he said,
Yeah.
like from where he's coming from. Gosh, that bothers me. I wanted to share it with you. Now I can't remember. That's the whole reason I brought him up. I was gonna be like, hey, thought about this.
Closing in on your location.
Now I don't remember it. Maybe it will come to me.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I suppose. I think, like, everyone is a child of God. Everyone deserves respect and dignity. But some. Like, when you're working on the internet streaming, you can't have a conversation with everybody sometimes.
Yeah, I remember what it was. I did remember it. I believe he is also the person that let us know about his autism spectrum disorder diagnosis. Or the one that, said, first things first, I'm not my disease when I was asking about it because I'm genuinely curious. But, not to write this off, but it gave me a different level of like an extra teaspoon of grace to give him. When it comes to like saying something in chat that may come across rude or something. Otherwise, he might not know that. He might not be picking up on that,
Yeah, that makes sense.
So anyway, that's what it was. That's what I remembered. Are we supposed to like take the legs out? Is that how it works? Because that's what keeps turning red.
Yeah, that's what my rocket launcher guy is shooting at.
Oh man. There we go. Now I'm aiming at the leg again.
You have to jump into the scarab. Oh, look!
Is it working?
The scarab! The scarab is on the ground. Let's do it.
Coming. Well, trying to. abandoning my vehicle to get to you. I'm on the ship.
Good, me too.
I have a machine gun. I'm gonna clear the way.
Cramped quarters.
I don't really understand what to do now. Wait a second.
There is a
something you can do in
self-destruct
here.
button. Where's the big red self? It's got to be big and red, right?
Probably, though it could be green and turn red whenever you initiate it. There's a stroke button at the bottom.
Look for the core, Chief. You'll know it when you see it.
Oh, that rings a bell. Open it.
I'm seeing it here, but I do see something blue.
What the heck? What the heck, dude?
Well, you're the one that went to play it on Legend. Not Legend. Heroic.
Well, right now we're not being attacked. We're just struggling to. Do you think it would have been easier to see if we were playing on normal?
Maybe. Maybe on normal gives you an objective way marker.
Halo has never been really strong at that.
Power core, something like that.
Power core. Yeah, I hear ya.
There is this big blue thing. I'm just gonna keep shooting it. I don't think that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
I don't think so either.
Well, let me hit 4 and turn on my flashlight. See if that helps. Did not.
Oh, I know.
Found it.
You
No, I
did.
didn't. I saw something that I thought was a button. Wait, something turned red. Maybe I did. My reticle turned red.
That's a good sign.
It turned red when I was looking up, so I'm actually gonna go up here.
Look for the core, Chief. You'll know it when you see it.
Oh, snap! Be careful. I got hit by something on the top. Oh, it zoomed out this time. I think it is, I think it's down from there, Peter. Like, if you walk down the ramp you just came up and then go around to the side, you'll see my corpse. And then around to the back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jump on top of it, Chief. It's like New Mombasa.
Do you see it? Ah, I'm back. Let's go.
Get away! It's gonna blow!
It's gonna blow!
I hope this is away enough.
Who knows?
It was not away enough. I didn't fully die,
Well
but it was
done,
not
Chief.
away enough.
I'm sending in a few pelicans.
Thanks. I love pelicans.
One more target, Chief.
That one's almost out
There's
of
a Covenant AA gun in the next area. Take it down and Lord Hood can start his attack run.
Neutralize the anti-air cannon. Got it. Fear Fox, what have you been up to lately? What you playing? What you doing?
What are they doing with
telling
the
you.
pelican?
What we need is a scan button to show us where to go next.
Yeah, I love waypoints personally. Oh look, a waypoint.
Oh, I got a waypoint.
Wow. Thanks,
Did you
devs.
press something for that, or did it just happen?
No, it just happened. The devs
Well,
passed
heck
one
yeah.
in for us. Thanks, guys.
We've got this area locked down, sir. Follow us. We'll get you through.
Hi, guys.
I'm sure that I'm not supposed to be able to get a ghost through here, but here I am.
Nice ride.
No! The door shut right as I was about to go in it.
I am your shield. I am your sword.
Are you?
I think she's just confused.
Somebody give me some morphine.
Yeah, that's what it is. Dune Tyson has, Wait, is that a clip? Yeah, it is. I hate the URL names for the clips, because if you don't see it pop up, that it's a Oh Snap clip, that clip is Webby Pumpkin Clip, Sleepy Vibrant Pepperoni AMP Energy. That's the URL.
Yeah.
They're wild. Built a new computer last Thursday. Built a new computer last Thursday and then playing Minecraft. FF So I have a rework and Monster Hunter on it. Need to try some Stellaris, Sins of the Solar Empire 2, or Total War Warhammer on it. I just pre-installed Doom, the Dark Ages yesterday. I think it actually is out today. I need to double check that, but yeah, I pre-installed it, so I'm eager to see what that's going to be like.
Are you going to stream it?
Probably not. I might, but because I had originally put it on my schedule as like a test, but then I was pretty much locked in between parts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nice.
Good work. Oh, hi.
Getting better at this difficulty, I think.
Huge. We're gonna make a gamer out of you yet. Oh my goodness.
Getting back into my juggernaut ways.
Don't quit. Keep going.
All right, that is working. I am. I'm happy with that. Why is that person doubting our survival skills? That's what I want to know.
They would never doubt. Oh. Ooh, a hunter.
They're going to be a little more difficult for me to immediately range on. But they have weak spots in the back, since there's two of us. Real easy to get them to turn around.
Whoops. Did I shoot you?
So, I think this hunter's on me. I may have distracted enough that you can get around him. Oh, he's in here. Thank you, sir.
He's gone.
Does the hunter have a weapon that we can pick up? 'Cause that would be nice. Looks like it's a no.
Doesn't seem like it.
All right.
Wait, what? Someone's got a hammer?
Oh, we got guys out here with more hammers. Poop, you know. I was playing solo. I'm better when there's cover.
Yeah. Why is the hammer guy just hanging out back in the back?
I don't mind. I'm tearing him up with my carbine.
Up.
Ha ha ha. You thought. Oh, does Peter want that hammer? There, he got it. Good deal.
Let's do it. Well, I don't think I'm meant to be a hammer, bro.
That's all right.
Get your ass in here!
I'll bring you back.
Language.
All that remains will then when we, the worthy, have passed beyond.
I'm gonna try to be a hammer, bro.
Do it.
I can't because there's stuff here that. There we
I
go.
know, right?
It's quite difficult. How does this work? Is it like unlimited hits?
No, it's powered by energy. It's like the sword was.
Oh, I see.
I can't tell.
I like the sword more. The sword's awesome.
Does the sword come back in Halo 3?
Surely. But it was an elite weapon. So the brutes use the hammers.
Chief, Hood ships are closing
elite
fast.
swords use
Destroy that gun. We're out of time.
The brutes are just not nearly as exciting as.
I got myself a
Elites.
sniper.
Oh, that's great. Whoops, I got myself dead. Oh, and then
Oh, that's great.
grenaded. Oh yeah.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, snipers are great.
Down to my last 4 bullets, but I cleared out some stuff. That's what I need to get. Oh, it's got a double zoom. I didn't even do that. Do you think in Fortnite that swords or lightsabers are better? I like the lightsabers because it's just, you know, it's a lightsaber. but I haven't played Fortnite this season yet, so I can't speak to it too much. I need to play it. And use code WebbyPumpkin whenever you get things in the item shop.
That's right. What if we started playing a bunch of Rocket League? Because, you know, people can use the Epic code over Rocket League, too.
They sure can. Or if you just buy a game on the Epic Games Store, which I feel like happens a lot less often, you can use it there, too.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm buying a game, the last store I would choose.
Maybe you end up playing something like Genshin Impact or something that I guess that's only on Epic. You could go to the Epic Store to buy whatever that in-game token is and use it for
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. Generally speaking, I'm going to play it on Steam is my first choice. Honestly, I don't really like the Microsoft launcher. I only use it because of Game Pass.
Yeah, me too. I would definitely default.
Chief, that gun's been firing non-stop. It's got to be running hot.
Can we hit like the eye when it opens?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like the 4th time they've had like a Star Wars lightsaber kind of crossover though for Fortnite. So it's not that special, though I have heard the season's good. We did it. We're experts.
Wow.
I feel like that's the first like conclusionary like moment that we've had.
Yeah.
All ships, fire at will.
Like guns.
They have a blue, red, and purple. Oh, I would definitely want the Mace Windu one. Purple all the way. It's kind of my brand.
Yeah.
Though, truthfully, in my soul, we went through this the last time Fortnite did a Star Wars event. Truthfully, I'm a Sith.
Yeah.
This is the way the world ends.
I finally started embracing it.
It was all a dream?
Nah. Did the different colors give you different powers? Like different force powers, or are they all the same? Because that was the cool thing about the different colors last time. Like, you got something from Luke, you got something from Anakin, you got something from Rey. I don't know if they had purple the last time.
What did Truth just do?
What do you get, dude?
Did he activate the rings?
No, sir. But he certainly did something.
Evac wounded and regroup. Wherever Truth went.
Sir, new contact slipping in.
Ooh, they look rough.
That looks... Yeah.
Oh, but the
Is
flood.
there flood on that ship?
Gotta be. Oh,
it looks
that means our
stinky
planet's
like the flood.
affected. If the flood's on it, they're bringing them here to Earth.
What is it? More brutes? Worse.
Yeah, definitely worse. The whole reason Halo was even made, or the Halos were made.
Floodgate! No!
Get ready.
740.
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah.
You might not want to get into Floodgate then.
The flood.
Yeah.
It's spreading all over the city.
Gosh, that was fast.
Find the crashed flood ship. Overload its engine core. We either destroy this city or risk losing the entire planet.
The flood, I don't know which came
Chief,
first.
make your way to the
flood
crash
remind
site.
me so much of head crabs from like Half-Life. I always like those two things always seem synonymous in my brain.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds
I need to
about right.
finish Half-Life. I technically have never played it. I played Black Mesa, and I haven't finished Black Mesa. That was the way I was playing the first one instead. And then I think I got Half-Life 2, but I haven't played it. But development is confirmed for Half-Life, for a new Half-Life, Half-Life 3. So
Really? I didn't know
yeah,
that.
I learned about it
long
Monday.
ago?
I don't know when it was well, there was already teasers, but
Sure.
someone had talked about a project coming up that ended up being Half-Life Alyx. This one, let me see if I'll have to see if I can find the information because I was going to talk about it on the web show and then I ended up not doing any of that. But this one is what has been confirmed that there is a Half-Life game from Valve in development, and then we've gotten a promise that it's not another VR type title. So I guess it's not a full confirmed 3, but the speculation is that it's like a regular game, because if it's not VR or some kind of gimmicky like thing like that, if it's just a regular title, then why would it not be Half-Life 3? Unless this is a stretch, but I guess there is room for it to possibly be Portal 3, but I doubt it.
Wait. What was the clue that could make it also Portal?
Just that it's a Half-Life, the same universe. Portal's in the Half-Life universe, but I think that's a stretch. I think it's gonna be Half-Life 3. I don't think it's actually gonna be Portal.
The tricky thing with Half-Life 3 is that it's been anticipated for so long that no matter what decisions they make, I think there's going to be people that end up being disappointed by it. Like there's just been hype and anticipation for so long. So it almost like encourages you to do another prequel or another midquel or something like that. But who knows? Half-Life 3 would be good. I would like that. That's very hype. I played the first one. I pushed my way through the first one eventually, but like the first couple times I had tried it, it triggered my nausea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think that I just had a stomach bug the first time I played it, and then so I had to put it down, and then when I returned to it, it like was associated with all those nausea feelings. And so it was tough to get through, but eventually I just pushed through it on stream and had a good time with Half-Life and Half-Life 2. It's very nice.
Hear you? I think it's my fault. So I can fix it. Yeah, I hear you again. I changed audio sources. I switched my headphones over to the actual interface that this is connected to, because I'm hoping that will help me have an idea of what my microphone is sounding like in it. But that doesn't mean anything. I need Twitch to tell me. I'm actually gonna switch back and listen back on Twitch and see how that sounds. Turn off music. Need that. Don't need anything really running anymore. Close lurk bait. All right, let's switch to here real quick.
Let's do it.
See if I put it back to HD60. Let's see if I hear. Oh wait, I needed to stay in the same spot. I'm a dummy. Let's just see how it sounds here. Track. Oh, I have very little PC audio. There we go. All right, let's see if we're peaking.
Peak.
Oh, it's a little better.
That's good.
You sound fine. Now I'm hearing it on a delay so that I can hear what it sounds like on inside of OBS. But it's still not beautiful. So I'm gonna play with it some. But
can you turn on shared chat?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't on. Got it.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I was surprised it wasn't on too. All right.
Oh, I'm boosting at 48 decibels. Let's turn that off and see what happens. Interesting. Oh, that Dune Tyson Jagger following is very loud in my ears now.
Yeah, sound balancing.
I must still have alert box on OBS. I do.
I need to redo stuff in my life.
There we go. There we go.
There we go. Oh, Otto is first. Good job, Otto.
So how does my audio sound to you, friend? Am I like too loud or too soft for you, or is that pretty nice?
You sound fine to me. You sound great.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm going to take a little bit back away. That's pretty good. And I think I'm in a spot where we won't peak tonight.
That's great. I am hoping um, on Windows, my gain, it looks like I might have peaked right there. But I used to be at a gain of 90, and then I pushed it up to 100 the other night. I forget why. I think it might have been in call with you. Um, was that a week ago? But now I've pulled it
Yeah.
back to a gain of 95. So hopefully that's a nice mid spot.
I'm playing with our compressor ratio a little bit, but I think I got us sounding better. Yeah. All right, I'm mostly happy with that.
Huge. Sleepy. Wow.
I still don't think the audio quality from my microphone is all that pretty. But that's, I mean, these are decent mics. That is 100% a Twitch stream together thing. It's just a thin little audio bit rate. But
do you think it'd be better over Zoom?
Probably. But this isn't bad. It's just you can tell that it's thinner. So, but I am interested, as I've brought up before, in exploring some Zoom options, especially since you're paying for it anyway.
Yeah. For today, I'm experimenting with just bringing down my bit rate and my canvas size. I'm at 720p and 3000 kilobits. So we'll see if that, I don't know, gets rid of the robot. But
hopefully it does.
Yeah, the robot has been obnoxious. Real obnoxious. All right, I'm going to go grab, I should type live.
Yeah, I'm going to update our categories real quick. Then I'm going to get a bottle of water or something.
Yeah, me too. Or something.
All right, we'll just eliminate the word pre-show and save. All right, we should be good to go on all platforms now, friends. And a pretty clean option. There we go. Looks nice. How is everyone? Well, I certainly hope. Well. Guys, tonight we are talking about, if Peter doesn't change anything on me, I believe tonight we are talking about whether or not there is a, let me turn this so I can hear myself do that a little bit more. I believe tonight we're talking about whether or not Jesus did away with the law. So that's the plan today. Glad you guys are here, though. Hello.
It's right on.
Monitor. There we go. But I think that's pretty good. Yeah. So you get a lot more of me there. Sorry, I'm adjusting my own monitor mix now. I'm going to grab a bottle of water, and then I'll pretty much be ready, friend.
That sounds great.
Okay, I leave chat in your very capable hands for just a moment.
All right, chat, watch out. Something. Why are you sad, Dune Tyson Jagger? Oh, because I was not able to play Halo with y'all? Sure, there will be other opportunities to do play with viewers, but at least for Tuesday nights, Webby and I focus on playing with each other because we're about to get into a podcast where we talk about faith, and we have lots of disagreements on faith. So, like, gaming together is one way that we can build a little common ground before discussing. Wow, Hugh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. That was insightful.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I technically fibbed. I was gonna get water, and I'm out of my sparkling waters. But my wife had bought these like sparkling, slightly flavored waters from Aldi, and so it's 5 calories. But we're gonna see if it's any good. Strawberry
That's a lot
kiwi.
of
Let's go.
calories.
I know. It's a whole nickel worth of calories. Oh, that's very sweet though. What is it sweetening itself with?
Aspartame.
That would be my guess. Let's see.
Not a fan of aspartame.
It's sucralose. Okay.
Ew, even less.
You like sucralose less?
I do. Well,
interesting. I think so. Well, I do think that aspartame potentially tastes slightly better, but I'd rather have sucralose to aspartame. What is your favorite artificial or 0 calorie or low calorie sweetener? What's your sweetener of choice?
I usually don't go for any of them. Stevia, I'm neutral enough on stevia that I would have stevia. But the rest of them, I just don't trust them.
I don't know. Stevia, I think, cooks better than it makes beverages. Like, if I'm using stevia in, like, bread or something like that, or, like, a cake, I think it cooks really well. But I don't think it, like, I've tried making tea with it, and that's not very good.
I usually just
And we
go
have
for
our first
sugar.
comment.
On
have
YouTube?
our first comment on YouTube. Yeah.
saw that.
Have you already responded to it?
Yeah, I did. I told him it was very insightful. Thank you very much.
Okay. I love it. Truckee says, I can't stand stevia except in baked goods. It's great in baked goods. It's just fine.
He's right with you.
Yeah, I've been getting in. Well, I haven't bought just this, but I've noticed a couple beverages switching to like monk fruit lately. And I will say, like Red Bull, for example, their Red Bull Zero Sugar, I think it was using erythritol before, and it's using now. They're proud of it because they're putting a big label at the top that's like with monk fruit. And I will say, it is better. Like I don't know if if it's better for you or anything like that, but I do think the flavor is better. But I don't mind erythritol at all.
I know nothing about it.
It's Monster Ultras started using it. I don't know if you're an energy drink guy, but they started using erythritol. That I don't know much about it other than it's supposedly a healthier 0 calorie sweetener, but you know how that goes. There's always another one every few months.
Yeah, I really don't follow the artificial sweetener news. I just manage how much sugar I want to have and call it a day.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I am kind of similar. Like calories in, calories out is the main thing, but I do recognize that I like to drink. That sounds like I'm saying something that I'm not actually saying, but I just like
Webby
consuming
parties
beverages
every weekend, real hard.
Especially with Mountain Dew. I don't enjoy drinking water, so I have to trick myself. Like I'm finding that sparkling water helps, but I don't enjoy water, but I need to drink more water. But on the flip side of that, I don't have a problem consuming liquid. I would just consume any liquid other than water, pretty much.
That's kind of how I am.
Yeah.
I too like to enjoy finely crafted beverages. Yeah, I'm a fan of beer.
I like I like it across the board. I'm also quite a fan of like fancy coffees and other types of like brews.
Coffee is great.
I like beverages, full wide net. I like beverages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go use the restroom before we get started because I am feeling otherwise I'm gonna interrupt myself. One moment.
You're good. I'm gonna get my Bible and notes out. Let Peter do that. How is everyone? Dune Tyson, are you gonna hang out with us tonight for the podcast? This is the second podcast that I do, though the web show is going audio only. We'll probably start that back up next week. I have an interview scheduled for this week for it. But this is the newest podcast called Tangled Christianity. It's where myself, a Protestant, meets up with my friend Peter, who is also on the screen with me, a Catholic, and we discuss and We discuss and debate a little bit of different viewpoints that we have. And it's pretty interesting. Glad that you're here, friend. Wine, the science behind it, all the flavors is really cool. Oh man, and also that take it one step further. I'm interested in like mixology and how, and it blows my mind that this is the case, but it's true. The order with which you mix or add your ingredients changes the outcome of the like your flavor profile. And that blows my mind. I think that is so interesting. All of them are an art form except water. We are completely on the same page there. But I wish I understood more of the like science behind mixology and why that is. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure that there's a wealth of knowledge out there around the topic, and I probably could learn more about it. But it's fascinating to me because why does the ingredient matter when you're mixing liquids? I even understand it more if you're like cooking, you know what I mean? But if you're just mixing liquids, why does it make such a difference? But boy, oh boy, does it make such a difference. It really does. Welcome back.
Thank you. Ugh.
Well, if you have your timer ready and if you feel prepared, I called tonight's topic, or I titled it Tangled Christianity. Did Jesus do away with the law? I almost said abolish, but I felt like that was so pointed considering a lot of English translations specifically say the opposite. So I didn't use the abolish word. I was like, let me make it a little more generic of a title.
I did.
You used abolish?
I did, yeah.
That's fine. I am fine with that.
Yeah. All right, sweet. Let's jump in studio mode. All right. I am ready to go whenever you are.
All right. I'm going to get this set up so that I can hit record, and then I will be ready.
Chat, love you bunches. We're going to ignore you for a while.
True story. All right. I think that should do it. I'm nervous. I want to make sure everything was actually still coming through since I made changes to audio, but I think we're good. So I'm going to start recording in 5, 4, 3. Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Tangled Christianity. Hopefully, my microphone sounds much better today. I did my due diligence and listened to a few previous episodes and realized I sounded like I was inside of the heart of the Tin Man. So hopefully that's fixed. Peter, how are you, friend? You are going to explain to me tonight your position on Jesus abolishing the law, something he specifically said he didn't do. So how are you?
Oh, jeez. Wow. Coming out the gate.
I laid it on thick.
You know what your position is on this. Yeah. I'm good. I'm a little bit, I feel off my game today. I'll be entirely honest. I think part of that, to be honest, is this is a topic where the notes today feel like they very much have fingers in other bigger topics that I'm not at all prepared to speak on and exploring and wrestling with on my own front. So I'm like talking around those things mostly, but anticipating that we might end up talking about some of these things that I don't really know all that much. So it's, there's a little bit of nervousness in that sense that I might have to say I don't know once or twice tonight, which never feels good.
Yeah. But let me commend you for I don't know, because it doesn't feel good, but I would much rather anyone, especially speaking on these topics, tell me the truth that they don't know something, but let's try to find out, than to make something up.
Yeah.
So commend you there. And you are well met, because as you know, I started my stream a couple minutes late tonight because I didn't do a lot at work today, but I ended up having a parent come through that wanted to talk for a while, and that held me off. So I was supposed to get home like 30 minutes earlier than I actually did. And so the plan was to come home, grab a shower, and then review and refresh and be a little bit more prepared to not really debate, but just to know the content a little better, and I didn't get to do that, so I feel a little off and a little nervous. To give a little background, also, the main reason we're talking about this, guys, is because Peter and I are in the midst of a larger umbrella conversation around the true presence in the Eucharist. If you're not familiar with that Eucharist term, definitely go back and bear through some of my poor audio on a couple episodes before. But we are really asking the question is, did the apostles or the earliest church, the earliest believers, hold to the belief that Jesus' body and blood were actually present in communion or the Eucharist? And that the last few episodes have taken us down a road to where we are right now about whether or not the law changed and if Jesus had to had to abide by everything in the law. And Peter, he put out a spicy little piece of bait in the last episode and said, I actually want to talk about whether or not Jesus did abolish the law. And I said, I clicked my seatbelt and I said, all right, let's go. And that's what we're doing tonight. So
listen, we're gonna make if we're gonna make episodes, we need clickbait titles.
That's right.
The spoiler alert, whenever you see a clickbait title like that, the answer is probably it depends in one way or another, and I probably will not disappoint on that.
I feel confident of that.
Yeah. All right, sweet. Let's sandbag. If we sandbag enough, then people won't be disappointed. Okay, sweet. So let's just jump in, and I think we'll have more time than typical to chit chat because I have less prepared, but I also have more open-ended questions, so that's fine. So context for what this has all been about. After our first conversation about the Eucharist, you generously gave me a list of all the passages that you cited so that I could work through them on my own time, take notes, and I've been doing so very slowly, but hopefully methodically and interestingly. Today, the verse that I'm diving into a little bit is Luke 22:19.
Okay.
And he took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and gave it to them, saying, "This is my body, which is given for you. Do this in memory of me." All right. So this specific verse, there isn't so much like specific phrasing in the verse that I think that you pulled on a great deal. I think the point of this verse was to pose the question, did Jesus take communion at the Last Supper? Which you pose as just a neutral question, and I answered, I don't know. And my answer still is, I don't know. But this fits into a larger argument that I've kind of condensed down to be as accurate, but also as condensed as possible here. So this is how I see your argument. I sent this to you, so I'm not expecting any surprises here, but let me know how accurate this is. All right. So A, if Jesus is a faithful Jew, and B, faithful Jews do not eat blood, then C, Jesus did not eat blood. All right. Further, if, as we just established, C, Jesus did not eat blood, and D, Jesus did take the communion cup at the Last Supper, then E, the communion cup does not contain real blood. Oh, is that?
Yeah, that's the overview. I mean, I feel like a lot hinges on something that I wish I'd done my due diligence a little bit better to find out, which is, did he for sure partake? I presume you probably hit all four Gospels, and that's why you've come back with me with I still don't really know.
Yeah. So that point of did he partake, I am unsure. I looked into that and I found that at least among Catholic theologians, there isn't a full-on agreement. Most Catholic theologians say, yes, he probably did. It would be fitting if he did, is the most common stance. Like Thomas Aquinas takes that stance. And whenever Thomas Aquinas takes a stance, most theologians in the Catholic world agree. Not always. He didn't get everything right. But it is worth noting, I suppose, that I don't see any direct quotes in any of the gospels that say that he took that he drank from the cup. It does say he took the cup, and so like I reading through what Aquinas had to say, that's one of the points that Aquinas makes, that Jesus took the bread and Jesus took the cup, and in the same way he tells his apostles to take it. Oftentimes, when you say you're taking a food or you're taking a drink, that implies that you're eating or drinking it. But I mean, that's about as strong as we get as far as like the text itself. So I
Yeah.
think there's room to believe either way on that. Um, I don't know. I'm willing to grant it. I'm not sure if it's true. I think it's a speculation that could be true, but that's fine. Um, Certainly from a Catholic stance, most theologians would say it doesn't like undermine our position, and so I don't feel bad granting it, if that makes
Right.
sense. Yeah, so there you go. Um, that puts me in a spot like it's as arguments go, it's a pretty tight argument. I would say it's very logical. I'm going to push back specifically on the first premise.
Okay.
Jesus is a faithful Jew. Um, I think that there are ways that this is true. I would say it's true in a qualified sense, but a couple questions to break open a little bit what we might think here is, one, did Jesus have the authority to change religious laws of Judaism? Or two, very similarly, did Christ establish a new law? Um, and that's what I plan to jump into a little bit. But I'm curious, what's your
Yeah.
gut reaction? What do you think?
Well, as I have been pondering this throughout the week and preparing for today, uh, it actually it may have introduced more questions than answers. Isn't that how this goes?
Yeah.
But it's maybe question the way we live out our faith as as modern Christians in general. But the more I lean into it, there are I'm trying to remember the guy. There's a guy who has an interpretation. I think it's Andy Stanley. Andy Stanley has this interpretation when Jesus talks about how he didn't come to abolish the law, that he didn't abolish the law when he fulfilled it, but in fulfilling it, he made it obsolete. And I don't think I can ascribe to that standpoint because I don't see a tangible difference in the word abolish and obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't do that. So where does that take me? It's just giving you an idea of where I'm at. That takes me to try to figure out what that abolish word is in the good old Greek. And I don't know if I'll say it right, but it's kataluo, and
Okay.
and it means to cause to be no longer enforced or
That makes
enforced.
sense.
So I can't see a reading or an understanding with that Greek understanding where the law stopped being practiced or should stop being practiced. Then we go over to our good boy, our good friend Paul, and Paul seems to say something different every time he speaks. So I think it's a little more open, but like, he says we're not under the law. Then he's all like, but we are full. We want to live with the fullness of the law. And like
Mm-hmm.
Paul, my guy.
Yeah.
So this is where I landed. This is where I've landed right now. And this is like a loose foot landing. Where I've landed is that I ought to, because, I've already shared this viewpoint that I don't hold every book or every piece of the Bible to the same level. That's not to say that I don't believe that what Paul is writing is good. What I am saying is that I think it's good hermeneutics, if you will. There's my big word for the day. I think it's a good hermeneutical practice to that what Jesus says in Matthew, I think it's Matthew 5, Matthew 5:17. Yeah, when he talks about how he didn't come to abolish the law. I feel like it's a clearer teaching than what Paul is saying. And it's also Jesus. And I like that guy. So it's Jesus talking. So rather than understand what Jesus is saying through the lens of what Paul is saying, I think it's good hermeneutical practice to ponder what Paul is saying through the lens of what Jesus is saying. And so
Yeah.
I don't know what that means yet for me, but that's where I'm landing on what I think the the headway should be, or where the heading is. So I don't know if that fully even directly answered your question, but that's my gut reaction right now. Is that it seems like the law, like that I should take Jesus for what he's saying here about the law, and in that it seems to me that Jesus must have, he must have abided by the law. Now, does God have authority? Yeah, I do think God has authority, and I do think he has authority. I concede that he has authority to change things or amend things, but I'm not going to really say, I'm holding to the idea that when, Jesus teaches, for example, about the Sabbath, that the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath, that Jesus is fulfilling the law through teaching us how to rightly abide by the law. And then that if the purpose for the Sabbath is not just the rules and regulations that we must follow, but it is something that is good and edifying for us, and that is, then I think that's how I would define the fulfilling the law portion. There is that he shows us how to properly apply the law, and so in that regard, I don't know if he's actually changing anything, but if he not changing something, but is rather clarifying or making something more simple. All right, very long-winded answer. Follow up with anything that you have, because I feel like I went over time.
Nah, it's fine. I mean, it's a 2-person podcast. Yeah, no, that's great. I think there's I am I think later chasing down that thread of, well, we should listen to Jesus over Paul, um, is something that might be worth for us to explore
Yeah.
further. Because I like that is
And well, let me clarify there. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to
go
interrupt you.
ahead.
Not listen to him over Paul as much as add clarity or understand what Paul says through the lens of Jesus. I think what Paul says has authority, but if Paul seems to be saying something that isn't in line with what Jesus said, well, we need to understand Paul through the lens of Jesus, not the other way around. That's what I mean.
Interesting. Yeah, that's yeah, I suppose, I mean, I think I would say that, and I would certainly say that Jesus is higher than Paul.
Mhm.
I think like Paul is explaining what he learned from Jesus, and there are, yeah, no, interesting. I think there's
Yeah.
like there's something there to unpack, especially because like I have seen, well, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, Paul and Jesus and what their relationship is and how we treat different books of the Bible might be a good topic next year when we finish our talks on the Eucharist.
We laugh and joke, but that's probably true.
Yeah, we'll never finish talking about the Eucharist.
Mm-mm.
All right. Yeah, no, I also think, not to show my cards, but I think that some of the things you're saying at the end there end up being where I land, but I'm going to be a little bit circuitous as I get there.
Mhm.
So let me read some notes. First, I was curious. I asked Google what they think. Did Jesus change the law? And Google AI says no. According to Christian theology, Jesus came to fulfill the law, not to abolish or change it. This is just stated directly in Matthew 5:17. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law of the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. Uh, maybe Google AI is spot on, but it is Google AI. I suggest there is more nuance at play, and I'd like to contrast Matthew 5 with Ephesians 2. There's a couple
Okay.
you mentioned. I'm glad that you also like looked up a few other things about that Paul has to say about the law, but I specifically chose Ephesians 2. All right. So first, again, Matthew 5. This time it's Matthew 5:17 to 18. Think not that I have come to abolish the law and the prophets. I have come not to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly I say to you, till heaven and earth pass away, not an iota, not a dot will pass from the law until all is accomplished. All right. Contrast that with Ephesians 2:14 to 16. For he is our peace, who has made us both one, and has broken down the dividing wall of hostility by abolishing in his flesh the law of commandments and ordinances, that he might create in himself one new man in place of the two, so making peace, and might reconcile us both to God in one body through the cross, thereby bringing the hostility to an end. So I bring those two passages next to each other because it highlights a problem in our scriptures that some people would claim like disproves the Bible. I don't claim that. In Matthew 5, Jesus is saying that I have not come to abolish the law. But then in Ephesians 2, Paul says that he has abolished in his flesh the law of commandments and ordinances, which feels like a direct contradiction. Yeah, so that's the conundrum. And I think that's why the title is not entirely clickbait to say, did Jesus abolish the law? All right. Let me offer one distinction, one possible solution that I ultimately reject, but I want to offer it to you and see what you think of it first.
Okay.
One possible distinction that jumps out to me is the cross. Matthew 5 says, until all is accomplished, and Ephesians also talks about the cross. Perhaps Christ is abolishing the old law, effective not immediately, but instead when he dies on the cross. And at that point, the new law, or new rules, if that's a safer term. I learned that can be a controversial term, but Catholics love that term. But at that point, after the cross, the new law will apply.
This is a little bit of a sidestep, but if with that understanding, I'm gonna push you on that word until, and see if it implies any kind of change. And if it does imply a change, then I'm going to posit that Mary remained a virgin until she brought forth her firstborn son.
That is such a tangent.
I want to save it as like a little asterisk right here to come back to. But we also, at the same time, we know, depending on what that word is, we know that until does not necessarily mean that there is a change or that a change takes place.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, that's all bait, and I'm going to ignore it and stay on task for now.
All right, go ahead. I'm not even trying to bait you into Mary. I'm just saying that, like, I don't know if a clear change is implied there. And if it is implied, then I think it breaks down some other viewpoints. But go ahead.
Sure. Well, what I'm saying is that that is one way that we could get these two verses to cooperate with each other. Like if in the first passage, Jesus is talking about, I'm not abolishing the law until all things are accomplished. He's talking about before the cross, I'm not abolishing the law. And then Ephesians is talking about after the cross, the law has been abolished. If that's what is meant by these two passages, then they're talking about two different time frames, and so they're not in conflict anymore. So that could be a neat and tidy way to resolve them with each other. Do you see that? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. I still struggle with it because of that Greek word there, that kataluo, or abolish there. I did not come to cause to be no longer in force.
Right.
But to fulfill.
And
so I don't see how the cross would change that.
Well, he follows that up with till heaven and earth pass away, not an iota or dot will pass from the law until all is accomplished. So since he says until all is accomplished, it could be that he's trying to, like, I don't know, frame when his words apply to just up until that point. This isn't my position, so I don't really have to defend it. If you don't find it convincing, I'm fine. But
okay, cool.
All right, you don't find it convincing. All right, great. Well, sweet. The point, I also don't find it convincing, a little bit less because of the grammar and a little bit more because I see Christ preaching out and living new rules before his death on the cross.
Yeah. Okay.
And as an example of that, I've got Mark 7, which is
Okay.
verses 1 through 23. Since I don't have as many notes, I'm going to indulge myself to just read all of 1 through 23. Is that all right with you?
That's perfect. Definitely is, because a good practice for me is I'm going every time you bring up a reference, I'm going to it. So like I'm reading with you. So yeah, that's
Sweet.
totally fine with me.
All right, cool. 1 through 23. Now, when the Pharisees gathered together to him with some of the scribes who had come from Jerusalem, they saw that some of his disciples ate with hands defiled, that is, unwashed. For the Pharisees and all the Jews do not eat unless they wash their hands, observing the tradition of their elders. And when they come from the marketplace, they do not eat unless they purify themselves. And there are many other traditions which they observe, the washing of cups and pots and vessels of bronze. And the Pharisees and the scribes asked him, "Why do your disciples not live according to the tradition of the elders, but eat with hands defiled?" And he said to them, "Well did Isaiah prophesy of you hypocrites. As it is written, this people honors me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines the precepts of men. You leave the commandment of God and hold fast the tradition of men." And he said to them, "You have a fine way of rejecting the commandment of God in order to keep your tradition. For Moses said, 'Honor your father and your mother, and he who speaks evil of father and mother, let him surely die.' But you say, 'If a man tells his father or his mother, what you would have gained from me is Corban, that is given to God,' then you no longer permit him to do anything for his father or mother, thus making void the word of God through your tradition, which you hand on, and many such things you do." And he called the people to him again and said, "Hear me, all of you, and understand there is nothing outside a man which by going into him can defile him, but the things which come out of a man are what defile him." And when he had entered the house and left the people, his disciples asked him about the parable. And he said to them, "There are you also with then are you also without understanding? Do you not see that whatever goes into a man from outside cannot defile him, since it enters not his heart but his stomach and so passes on?" Thus he declared all foods clean. And he said, "What comes out of a man is what defiles a man. For from within, out of the heart of a man, come evil thoughts, fornication, theft, murder, adultery, coveting, wickedness, deceit, licentiousness, envy, slander, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within, and they defile a man." Cool. All right. So the question at hand is, did Christ change the law regarding what foods are clean to eat?
Great question. Because up until that point, as we were going through, I was like, I don't think he's changed anything here, but like fully defined it. What I would like to do, and this is not something that I have a reference for to go find easily, would be to find the law and read it about the foods and about like what is unclean, to have a better understanding, because I don't think I can answer the question of whether or not Jesus changed it or whether or not he properly like showed us how to live it without referencing it. I don't want to make something up. So in P. Tony fashion, I'm going to answer your question with, I don't know.
Honestly, that's kind of I'll take that as a badge of honor to be willing and able to say I don't know. Yeah, valid, sweet. Definitely do some homework and let me know what you find. I think that's a great question. And I could do the same. I don't expect to because I'm moving on to my next page of notes. But I would love to hear what you find and take it from there. I will say, like, the Old Testament does communicate that some foods are unclean, right? Like it talks about pig as like that's the classic example of Jews aren't allowed to eat pig. That's part of Old Testament law. I don't think I've ever heard someone try to argue the case that it wasn't against the law for the Jews to eat pig. Whereas here, Christ saying, Do you not see that whatever goes into a man from outside cannot defile him, since it enters not his heart but his stomach and so passes on? And then Mark adds in the commentary, thus he declared all foods clean. Like in the case of at least pig, pig seems to be something that used to be considered unclean to eat, but is now considered clean to eat under the law. So like that's got to be at least, in my mind, I'm going to argue that's at least one example of something that Jesus has changed.
Yeah. Yeah, I found a reference for it in Deuteronomy 14, where it seems like you can't to like null it down. Pigs, camels, rabbits, shellfish, a couple of different types of birds. So there. Now I don't know if I haven't read it deep enough to know like a why, but I see that there is a clear like don't eat any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty difficult to argue a position that the Jews just always misunderstood that, and Jesus is clarifying, no, you were able to
Yeah.
eat pig this whole time. That's going to be tough. I do think like there is more, like the first part of this passage where the Pharisees are talking about ceremonial washings, and it seems like the way that Jesus responds to them, not being super deep into Jewish law myself, right? Like I'm out of my depth here, but I could definitely see the vantage point that it seems like he's calling out the Pharisees for heaping up extra restrictions that the law itself didn't say to do, which is fine, you know. Like, and he contrasts, hey, you're holding fast to your tradition so strictly that you're forgetting the law of God. But okay, that's fine. He does after that go on to say that all foods are clean according to Mark. And he says that not only to his own apostles, but he says that to the people, was something that I noticed. So like first he's talking to the Pharisees, then he leaves talking to the Pharisees and calls all, well, I don't know if he leaves, but he calls all the people and tells them nothing outside a man. This is 14 through 16. There is nothing outside a man which by going into him can defile him, but the things which come out of a man are what defile him. And then he leaves the people and talks just to his own disciples, and tells them, explains to them what it means. So that's interesting to me. I think like it's pretty clear that Jesus is teaching it is now okay to eat pork when the Old Testament did not teach, in fact, taught that it is not okay to eat pork. So that at the very least is a clear change that I think is impossible to escape in the gospel. All right, I've got an objection that I don't think is that I don't find convincing, but I'll offer it to you and see what you think of it, similar to the last one that you didn't like. All right. An objection that occurs to me is that perhaps Mark is speaking in hindsight. Perhaps when Mark says that Christ declared all foods clean, he was speaking from the context of the new covenant. Since Christ hadn't died yet, the old covenant law would still have been in place while Jesus was speaking, and Jesus was merely announcing what would happen after the new covenant began.
I don't find that convincing.
Me either. Yeah, why not?
Well, I'm more hung up on the parentheses, if you will, and saying this Jesus declared all. It's not. I see an argument for it because this is not something that Jesus said as much as something Mark is clarifying about what Jesus said. So I do see an argument. I just don't think it's a strong argument. But that is because I haven't come to a. That might be a little bit in me because I haven't come to a conclusion on what I think about what Jesus said here.
Yeah,
because I'm not certain if
like
we omitted that parentheses like that Mark has there. I don't know if I would garner the idea that Jesus is talking about all foods being acceptable to eat here.
Right.
But I would garner that he's saying that it is, it's really I don't know, a refuting, something of the Pharisees about, everything else that we said before, how they were heaping on extra things, and
Right.
that they were manufacturing righteousness in a way. So that's my hang up. I don't know how I feel like I would feel about this scripture completely differently if those parentheses weren't there. So I'm not sure. I gotta chew on it, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, for me, if there's anybody whose interpretation of Christ's words I will trust, it will be the apostles. Like,
That's fair.
yeah. I mean, granted, Mark isn't a direct apostle. However, he did learn directly from Peter and is kind of writing on his behalf, is my understanding. But I think Christ chose these 12 men by hand, and one of them was a liar. Or no, what does he call him? One of them is a devil. He wishes he was just a liar. But he chose these 12 men, and he entrusted the entire gospel to them, and put the Holy Spirit on them. So I mean, Sharks, this isn't really radical for me, because I trust the Holy Spirit to be active and preserving the integrity of the gospel, even past the apostles, even to like the elders that are handed on beyond them, right? So like this very much fits within Catholic theology 100%. But I think if we aren't even able to trust the evangelists, at a certain point, like, we can't know Christ anymore. If we pull on that thread too much, we have no Christianity left, because we don't know, we don't know anything at that point. So I think that's a scary thing for me to talk about pulling on. I will trust Mark's interpretation 100%.
The thing I'm trying to, like, as I'm listening, which, to be honest, maybe not entirely fair to you. What I want to know, because I know there's issues in Mark with this in modern translations of the Bible as it is there some kind of a parenthetical or a clarification in our earliest manuscripts of Mark, or is this something added by a translator?
Yeah,
it's because because I agree with everything you said about Mark's interpretation of Jesus's words. I'm 100% on board. I just want to make sure that Mark wrote this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me pull it up in my study Bible, see if they make any note. Okay. I think that, like, Trekkie mentioned how most manuscripts include this parenthetical now, which to me implies that scholarship is leaning towards it is part of the original, whereas it might not used to have been. Like, it might have disappeared for a while. Mark 7.
What I'm getting from the AI overview while you pull that up is that the Greek text doesn't explicitly say Jesus declared all foods clean. It describes the digestive processes as cleaning all foods, which might, I need to, I guess, read it or have a better understanding, but that might functionally mean the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a note here disputing this verse as authentic. At least oops, I'm sorry. At least this study Bible doesn't mention that. I don't know. That could be fun to follow up on.
Yeah, I found you are certainly, of the two of us, the expert on Greek, but I found some stuff on that show what the Greek has and some other words that I won't know how to say, but it starts with the PSH. And I'm scared to say it, because if I say it wrong, it's going to sound like a word that I don't want to say on Twitch. But the old Syriac, and then anyway, a couple more, all the way up to a KJV, which I take with a grain of salt anyway. But well, it's fine. I just don't think it's a good modern translation.
Mhm.
But it gives me Greek words here, but it's giving me Greek words in like their true form, not in like not with like the parentheses to the side to teach me how to pronounce it. So I have no idea how to pronounce it. But it says to participate or purifying or purging can be considered either with a word that I can't say, executive system, or with the subject of the verb. And this is what the breakdown here says. So the Greek text can mean either that the intestines purify the foods, or else the quotation can end with a different word, followed by a statement that he, Jesus, hereby was purifying all foods. The Latin has the same ambiguatory purgens can go with secessiums. All right, I don't want to take up too much of our airtime on that, but it seems like there's two ways that it can be translated. Purifying of all foods, or that foods are purified inside of our intestines. But that might, like I said, alluded to earlier, that may functionally be just as well the same.
Yeah, I mean, if Christ is
Yeah.
declaring that our intestines make foods
Yeah.
clean, or if he says foods are clean,
Yeah.
That okay. I don't really care which. I mean, I
Yeah.
do care, always care, but
Of
I
course.
don't think it changes the meaning. That might be one of those distinctions that, like, Bart Ehrman loves to talk about all the ambiguities in the Bible, and then if you ask him, "Hey,
Mhm.
do any of these ambiguities change anything in terms of like doctrine?" He says, "No."
Yeah.
But
That
what
is
is
my favorite thing, because he
yeah.
really will be like, well, I've seen him in an interview be asked, well, what do you think the Bible really said, like, or what it originally said? And his exact words was probably about what we have.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But no, I am
Uh,
agreeing with you. And I think that I don't know that it changes the meaning. It might change why the meaning, like why the purification, but I'm glad that we looked at it, because that
yeah.
puts me in a
It's a
place of
fun
being
leap.
like, well,
Sure.
it can allow me to feel confident in accepting it as like, oh, well, Jesus is doing something here.
Yeah.
It does open up all these strings of other concerns that I have, but we don't have to dive into them right now.
Yeah.
But it does seem like Jesus is doing something here that is contrary to Levitical or Mosaic law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me offer a different lens.
Hmm.
This is not a red herring. This is actually the lens that I'm going to employ
Okay.
to resolve these verses with each other. Okay. I offer a different lens to reconcile the language of both Christ not coming to abolish the law, but also abolishing the law. Jesus is teaching us to go deeper into the law. That's the whole lens, which is similar to what you were saying.
Yeah.
This changes what we are bound to, what we are and are not bound to do. In a very real sense, going deeper is fulfilling the law. In a very real sense, going deeper is not abolishing the law. And in a very real sense, going deeper is abolishing the law. So ultimately, if we just say Jesus is going deeper, or another word I've heard is Jesus is superseding the law, like, it allows us to, in some ways, talk about Jesus abolishing the law, but in other ways, like saying he's not abolishing the law. And like the word doesn't need to, the two verses no longer need to be in conflict anymore.
Hmm.
This also fits naturally with Matthew 5. Like we were starting with Matthew 5. We can continue with Matthew 5. So Matthew 5 goes on. There's a whole litany of Jesus saying, "You have heard that it was said, but I say to you." I didn't copy all of this, but I copied over the first one. This is Matthew 5:21 to 22. You have heard that it was said to the men of old, "You shall not kill, and whoever kills shall be liable to judgment." But I say to you that everyone who is angry with his brother shall be liable to judgment. Whoever insults his brother shall be liable to the council, and whoever says, "You fool," shall be liable to the hell of fire. Um, Christ speaks as someone who has authority over the law. He fulfills it. He even
Yeah.
abolishes it in a sense. I think perhaps another word that might be more natural to us in English is he supersedes it. What do you think?
Well, I think we are bumping up against each other in a good way. Like we're bumping up against each other in our viewpoints a lot there. Um, Initially, what I think though, as Jesus continues to like refine, if you will, the law as he moves forward, what I see happening in the rest of the Sermon on the Mount here is that things seem to be getting more difficult, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like more difficult to swallow than less difficult. Like the idea of being able to eat anything feels more freeing than the idea that, okay, well, I've never killed anyone. But Jesus said, I hated, since I hated my brother, now I have. And so now I'm guilty of this thing that I haven't done otherwise. Or, you know, I haven't committed adultery, but I have. It feels like everything got more I feel like the funnel got tighter. You know what I mean? I guess.
Sure.
Whereas it seems the opposite with food, and so I'm chewing on how those two things can coincide. Like, why would that? Why would that be different? But
Well, when
that's
he
not
talks,
necessarily to say it isn't or it can't be different. It's just why would it be different? Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, what I would say is that with food also he is challenging us to go deeper. He is superseding. He's
Mm-hmm.
saying, all right. Don't worry about what food you're eating. What you worry about is what's on your heart. So now all of a sudden, instead of having to, in order to stay clean and pure, before you just had to like manage what was on your plate. But now
Yeah.
he's saying you have to manage the thoughts that come up in your heart and what you do with them. That is
Yeah,
harder.
I can see that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good clarification. I can see plenty of room for that to fit.
Um, yeah, cool. All right, sweet. Um, yeah, I think in general, I think of like, for example, when kids are growing up, you don't have kids, I don't have kids, so we're speaking as armchair parents here. However, as an armchair parent, um, if you're a parent, you can correct us, please. Engagement bait. I'm just looking for comments. um, but you know, like when kids are young, there's different rules that are put in place to keep a kid safe. Um, but then as a kid grows up, it's not that the old rules are gotten rid of, but they're kind of superseded. So, for example, a kid when he's very young might not be allowed to go outside at all. But then later he's told, yes, you can go outside, but stay away from the road. And then later
Mm-hmm.
he's told why he stays away from the road and that you don't always have to stay away from the road as long as, you know, you're careful about cars. You know, like so little by little as a kid grows more mature, he is able to take better understanding uh, of the heart behind the rules, and that changes what restrictions are in place. It puts more responsibility on that kid to, like he has to start taking more of the risks into his own consideration, but it also means that some things that might have been off limits once upon a time are no longer off limits.
Yeah. Okay. That's really well put. I think it's a good analogy.
All right, sweet. That's really all I prepared for today. I thought I had not much, but my timer says that I used all my time. So, um,
Oh, it does say 0, doesn't it?
yeah, look at that. So there. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Does
I
this
think.
if I can ponder or if I can throw out something for you to ponder, does any of this create or stir anything in you around the divinity of Jesus? Because, like, if we come in with the understanding that Jesus is God, then he completely has the right, under this worldview, if Jesus is God, then he has the right to adapt the law, if we will, or supersede the law. But if
Mhm.
we remove the pre-assumption, wait, sorry, let me finish that line of thought. So he has the right to adapt the law or go deeper into the law, and then also in doing so, keep it and die a sinless death, so that
Yeah.
he is a acceptable sacrifice for us. Presupposing he is God, that works. But yeah, I'm kind of getting into the brain of Jews who don't accept Jesus, I guess, right now. If Jesus is not God and he's just saying these things, well, he's not a worthy sacrifice.
Sure.
Now, I see where the culmination of this is. Well, did he actually rise from the dead? Let's see if he's did what he said he would do. But what does this do for you when you're, if anything at all, when you're contemplating like Jesus's sacrifice, or have you contemplated it at all in that like lens?
Um, I have. I have. Yeah, that's one of the at the start I talked about how this touches on things that I'm wrestling with currently.
Uh huh.
Yeah, 100% this is one of those things. Like I think that there's a big contrast between um the Catholic position and the Reformed position on how salvation works. Um and uh and so yeah, I've definitely contemplated that. More directly to your question, like yeah, I think that this does become evidence that uh that Jesus is God, because not anybody has the authority to change the law. Only God has that authority. So if Jesus since he um talks about changing the law, there's one of three options. One, he doesn't actually have that authority, and so he's speaking out of turn. Two, he does have that authority um, because he is God. Or three, he does have that authority because it was given to him by God. Like those are the three choices left when he speaks like this.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
When you, I'm sorry, I want you to finish your sentences or thoughts, of course. Um,
Yeah, no, that's all.
But I don't want to dive us into like a deeper topic, but I will share my hand. I struggle, for right or for wrong, I struggle with the idea of Jesus being God, not no period there, but if Jesus, comma, being God, comma, uh, changing things or changing the law or like superseding.
Sure.
Now this is contrarian to the idea if we need to. I believe we should probably interpret everything Paul is saying in the other books in the New Testament through the lens of Jesus, not the other way around. It just seems like better hermeneutical practice. That's, I guess, hermeneutical is my buzzword tonight. I said it like 5 times, but I think
That's a good
about
word.
like, well, thank you. I think about like Hebrews 13:8. And I'll just read it real quick because it's only one, but it specifically says Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever.
Right.
That if there's an implication of Jesus not changing, um, then I struggle with the word or the idea that Jesus, maybe he can, but that Jesus would change the law. That
Right.
seems to be opposed in my mind. I'm not asking you to have an answer for it. I'm just being transparent. And if you have pondered that thought or how you feel like it, you know,
Yeah.
how
No,
it fits, let me know.
yeah, I can scratch on that, but
Okay.
I have more wrestling to do on this front. um yeah, I think all right. So wrestling with soteriology a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Here's this is my stage of research at this point is throwing things at chat gpt which sometimes
Okay.
is a good to say, hey, is this what people think, versus
Starting
this.
point.
Yeah, and then absolutely you should like double check anything you hear from chat gpt because it's ai. Anyways, however, this is a form of double checking. This is my understanding of the reformed view, which I think that you're familiar with and to a great deal espouse, with maybe some caveats. Um, all right. So how does salvation work? One, we're obliged to follow the law in the Old Testament. However, we fall short and incur the just wrath of God. So what happens next? 2, God sends his son, who is the only person who can perfectly obey the law. The son does this and is therefore blameless. 3, what's more, the son who is blameless also takes upon himself the just wrath that we've incurred. Since he is both blameless and human, this satisfies the just wrath of God. 4, now in the New Testament, we are still incapable of following the law, or at least perfectly, but that's okay. As long as we accept Christ, then the just wrath that we incur can be covered by Christ. And then 5, so today we no longer live under the law. I mean, in some ways, kind of pushing that's a bit of a stretch of a sentence, but there are still commands that we ought to follow, but we perhaps would not call those commands the law. Ultimately, that last point kind of needs a little finagling, but that's broadly speaking how I think the Reform view looks at salvation. And what's more, if that's the case, then if Christ comes to earth and he says, I'm going to be the innocent and blameless sacrifice that accepts the just wrath of God, how come he gets to change the rules while he's doing that? That's a little bit weird. I mean, I guess he's God and he can, but it is a bit weird. Like, it kind of makes the math feel like you got to add in an extra 0 just because you felt like it. What's going on? Yeah,
it's moving the goalpost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is my response. First, I'll provoke.
All right.
One of the big flaws in this theory from a Catholic stance is that this implies that God the Father directly punished his son, who is innocent. And it is not just to punish an innocent man. So like that takes quite a bit, like that's I think like the biggest critique that I would have of this view. This view, by the way, I have heard Catholics repeat. So like I think that especially in America, it's pretty commonplace and a pretty widespread understanding, to the point that even Catholics repeat it, and I don't think it fits Catholic theology from what I can tell. So like right now I'm trying to rewire my own understanding of soteriology and trying to understand better the Catholic perspective. So like that's one of the questions that I've seen Catholic theologians say, this is why this doesn't really work, is God did not punish his son because it is wrong, it is unjust to punish someone who is innocent. Instead, consider this. I don't have this nearly as tightly written out. My apologies. I'm still wrestling with this. Didn't get to it. But I think like the first step in the Catholic model would be, well, not the first step, perhaps. After original sin happens, we fall short of the, like our relationship with God has been broken. And that's, you know, what we have inherited. Christ comes to earth, and Christ, more so than saying that Christ perfectly fulfills the law, we would first say that Christ perfectly obeys his Father, which is more relational. We would also go on to say, and within that lens, like the reason that our relationship with God is broken is not because, you know, there are these specific laws that we that are written on pieces of paper that we're obliged to follow and then we didn't, but instead it's that we are disobeying God. That's the problem. We're rupturing our relationship with God. So Christ, the Son, coming to earth, of course he has a different relationship with his Father, and so it is going to be different for him, and he's also helping us grow. But the big thing that Christ does is he perfectly obeys the Father. And as our older brother, he invites us into that perfect obedience to the Father. Like going on through the Matthew 5 discourse, eventually he sums it all up and says, "Therefore be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect." So the Catholic understanding of salvation isn't one of um we're hopelessly sinful and God the Father will know will if we allow God the Father will look at his son instead of us when he evaluates whether we should enter heaven. It's not that. Instead, what it is that Christ has opened up the doors for us to begin the long and arduous journey to become perfect, which isn't something we can do on our own, but it is something that we need to cooperate with. And like as soon as we start speaking about that, people start accusing us of works-based salvation. Okay, the whole other topic, right? But cooperating with God in the good work that only he can do of making us perfect. This is such a monumental task that we're not going to finish it on this side of eternity. We will there are some people that perhaps achieve perfection by the grace of God on their deathbed. Most of us, I mean, this is also kind of where the purgatory idea comes in. For the Catholic, salvation is not just a ticket into heaven and God the Father saying, instead of looking at your worthiness, I'll look at my son. No, salvation is an inward transformation of our very selves to make us perfect. That's how we see salvation.
I see holes in both. I mean, not trying to pick at you either, but like as you were reading through the first one, like I saw holes where I was like, I don't think that fully. And then with that one, I agree with you. When it comes to justice, punishing an innocent man would be unjust. Though the flip side of that coin is to let guilty men go free is also unjust. And so there's two parts there. If I think about it in terms of paying a debt, which is language that the Bible uses itself, paying a debt makes a lot more sense because it's not unjust to allow, if you owe your county or whatnot, it's not unjust for the county to allow me to pay that debt. It's not. And so that's how I would view it rather than a punishment, but a debt. However, there's some strong reason to believe it's punishment. And for that same reason, I think there's strong reason to believe that it's got to be something more than just Jesus perfectly obeying his Father, because I can't understand how a loving Father, like how we're looking at this characteristic of justiceness that Jesus or that God is, but how a God that is loving and just would, if you will, demand or instruct Jesus to endure such pain and being forsaken, were it not some type of punishment. So that's the hole that I see there. Why? I mean, obviously God's plan, but why the cross if some debt / punishment were not necessary? Well, the answer might be the cross because God told him to. He's perfectly obeying. But why God tell him that? That doesn't seem like a loving God to me.
Yeah, if it was a question of paying a debt purely, then a single drop of Christ's blood would be enough. I would say, because he's God.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah. So like the Catholic, a couple things to I'm trying to track a couple of your points that you brought up and probably going to
Well, and I don't mean to make you do that. I know we're at the end of our time. I just just positing through what you're thinking and fleshing it out, one-on-one with you. That's where I land.
That's fine. Yeah. I mean, I think this is something that is off the beaten path of Eucharist, which is why I didn't want to go into it, but it's did seem to become a really interesting topic for later. So that I do want to wrestle with more. But yeah, so like the Catholic viewpoint here is that we shouldn't look at it at the crucifixion so much as the Father putting the Son on the cross, but rather the Son putting himself on the cross. Like, for example, he says, No one takes my life from me. I lay it down of my own accord.
Agree.
Why the cross? I mean, whenever we ask why questions about why God did something, it's always hard because we don't know the heart of God. I would
Yeah.
speculate that the cross is the most is a radical demonstration of just how much God loves us. Um, like if Christ had chosen to perfectly obey his Father, and died of old age comfortably in his bed, I mean, he still would have perfectly obeyed his Father. However, that would it wouldn't be a radical showing of love in the same way. So I think it is a tremendous gift that he gave us, and that's my speculation. I'm not sure how well founded that is, or if there's any problems with it, but that's what I would say. Um, I would also say I think like you have a right instinct to say it's unjust for a guilty man to go free. Yeah, I think that like the Catholic model, we still do need to maintain the justice of God. Um, the justice of God expresses itself in our model in the sense that purification sucks. Like working on ourselves and growing, that is a painful thing. Like we generally talk about purgatory as temporal punishment, and that makes it, I think that oftentimes we get confused and think about like, well, and then maybe we get like lashed with a whip, or maybe there's like smaller tongues of fire not as big as hell or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, as I've dug deeper into this, I found that's really not what the church is saying. The church is saying that when we sin, we are disordering our heart to put lesser goods above higher goods. And
Mm-hmm.
whenever we do that, that is going to need to be healed. That is going to need to be fixed. And reordering our heart is a painful process. So that is the temporal punishment of just fixing our heart by the grace of God. That in and of itself is, generally speaking, not comfortable. Um, and I think ideally the justice system, like the prison system, ideally, I mean, I don't know. Like I think there's room for disagreement on this. I'm thinking back on past conversations, but I tend to be very partial to the idea of, when possible, rehabilitation first. Rehabilitation isn't easy. Rehabilitation sucks for the person that's being rehabilitated. Like think of the alcoholic who says, "Yes, I will give up alcohol." I'm so happy for you, brother. It's going to suck. It is going
Mm-hmm.
to suck. I am here for you. I will help you if you're willing to walk through that. It will suck, but it will also be a tremendous mercy to be able to get back on your feet and give up alcohol. So that's how we see both justice and mercy there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could lean in more, but we'll keep talking if I do.
I know. I know. You can have the last. Tell you what, you give your last thought, and
Oh gosh.
I'll let it be
Oh,
if you want. You don't have to.
I don't know if I don't know if I have it now. I feel so bad. I don't know. I would love to continue a conversation after the Eucharist around what salvation looks like, because so much of me says that's really what the root of it all is. And so what a beautiful place for us to focus our attention.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of love this conversation, and it does, truthfully, you can see it. It interests me more than Christ's presence in the Eucharist, though. That doesn't make Christ's presence in the Eucharist less important. I think this is very important. So yeah, but it does interest me because also, like, let's be real. If we have a wrong understanding of salvation, I suppose this issue of the Eucharist is less important. Salvation is very important.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my stance. A right understanding of salvation is super, super important to me. I will not add a contrarian point to you, but I will add another, just to round it out, some other plot holes that I saw in the initial breakdown of how we receive salvation from a Catholic perspective was this idea that we fall short and we can't uphold the law. But my understanding from a Catholic perspective is you're born with original sin, so it really doesn't even matter. Even if you held every bit of the law, if you really are born with original sin, then you can't. If it were not that way, you wouldn't need to hold to an idea that Mary, and of course by extension Jesus, are immaculately conceived. So you're kind of like, the start of that doesn't work for the Catholic worldview. And from my worldview, I won't say that it's the Protestant worldview. I struggle with that because I don't know how I feel about original sin. And the reason I don't know how I feel about original sin is because of babies. Babies are the hard one for me.
Yeah.
So that's really not where I'm sure. I actually do agree that we inherit sin, but is it something that I feel more comfortable? That doesn't mean it's right, but I feel more comfortable viewing original sin as a disproportionate tendency or desire to disobey God. Like we are just, that is what is natural for us. We disobey God, and that manifests itself very early in our life. And you never
Yeah.
teach kids to lie or to steal or to be rude or mean or hit. That all seems to be really easy. It's the contrary that's hard to teach. And so I don't know. But yeah, that's a starting point for me. That's like I don't know if I agree with that either.
Yeah. Yeah, the effects of original sin, like that's one of them. We call that concupiscence. We all have this innate attraction to sin at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe innate isn't the right word because that makes it sound like it's part of our nature. It's part of our condition as fallen humans, is how we would phrase it. God didn't create us originally with a desire for sin, but it is something that we all experience now as an effect.
Yeah. I like that condition word better than nature. I like that better.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah. Similar to the question also sounds, I'm going to chat now.
Yeah, let's do that.
Big Max
Hey, Tyler.
says, hi. Big Mac says, what I wrestle with is this. Is it possible for us as humans to be completely perfect, even though the scriptures tell us to be perfect? We go through life as Christians and occasionally have to confess our sins and ask for forgiveness. The Bible also talks about those who endure to the end will be saved. Yeah, that's right in line with. I think personally, I think that that's one of the tensions that very much fits in with Catholic thought is on this side of eternity, no, we're not going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
However, God still calls us to that. And so the tension becomes, am I willing to cooperate with God's grace on this side of eternity and also on the other side of our deaths, potentially in purgatory,
Mm-hmm.
in order to let him perfect us? Because ultimately, I think that every Christian that I know of would agree with the idea that once we're in heaven, we will be perfect. There is no sin in
Mm-hmm.
heaven. There is no rebellion in heaven. That's if you're a rebel, you don't go to heaven. You go not there. So there is going to be some process that as a Catholic I would say begins here on earth and then continues through purgatory for most of us in order to get there by God's grace that we cooperate with. What do you think?
Oh, I agree with you. I think most Christians agree that there's no sin in heaven. If anything, they're just disagreeing on when and how you get there. But yeah. I agree there. I don't know. We are told to be perfect. Part of me says, we appear perfect, if you will, through Christ's sacrifice. Like in that way, salvation is instant. But we know just from looking around that sanctification or like our process of being purified clearly is not. And
Right.
so yeah, but I do believe, or I read it as a calling that we ought to. I like the wording you used, cooperate with grace. I mean, try. I don't think God is as concerned with us trying and messing up as he is with us not trying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, try to um, pursue holiness. And James says, you know, if you draw close to God, then He'll draw close to you. That seems like it's in that order for a reason. So it seems like the more we reach out, the closer, like the more God pulls back. You know, not pulls back like comes away, but like, you know, also
Pulls us
says, "Come on,"
onward.
pulls us on.
Yeah.
Yeah, onward's a good word. So you know, it might I might posit that not that it gets easier, but maybe it gets better the longer we do it, like the more active we are.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely like some people that I've met where I'm like, wow, this person really has taken their life of holiness seriously. And I always feel ashamed because uh,
Hmm.
I don't neglect it, but I don't put that much attention into it, you know. I think it's
You're the first truly devout Catholic man that I ever met. So
well,
I know more now, but
yeah. Yeah, I think it's also you mentioned distinction between salvation and sanctification. Um,
hmm
I I would for a Catholic we would say like we would say that sanctification is part of salvation, generally speaking.
hmm
I could see I think the distinction you were pointing out I would label more as justification versus sanctification, and especially initial justification. Um,
yeah,
but like I don't like Christ clearly invited us to spend eternity with him in heaven. Um, and that is huge news. He also challenged us to love him above all things and to be perfect. Um, and that also is part of the good news. Um,
hmm
so, uh, as Catholics, we would put both of those things under the category of salvation. And perhaps if we need to make a distinction, we would call that justification and sanctification. Meanwhile, in the East, they get annoyed that we come up with all these terms. They say, no, God saved you. Love him. Do that. I think
yeah,
oftentimes in the East, they don't like how much we philosophize things. Um, but
yeah.
yeah, that's
To add
that.
clarity, because I think we kind of are closely aligned, but we with some differences of words and the semantics make are important here because we don't when you look at the way that we say it or the words we choose, we don't fully agree on what we're saying. But man, we're so
Sure.
close, Peter.
Yeah, there's a
Because
lot in common.
yeah, well, because I would the reason I would use salvation and sanctification, even though I've heard justification versus sanctification, and that's acceptable asterisk, you know, like depending, is that, you know, I hold to, I bet you saw this one coming. I hold to what Ephesians says when it says, for by grace you have been saved, and not of yourself. And so
Right.
if it's truly fully grace, then I hold to that the salvation is completed and is through that sola fide action by faith alone. I appreciate the faith, like I call it faith is a relationship. I appreciate the idea like living your faith that you've shared with me before. So I do see a clear calling to live perfectly and to do. So living out your salvation, there's a calling to do that. But, you know, you versus the person who you believe is living out their salvation better than you are, I don't think that it omits you from your salvation. You know, like do what you can with what you have, and seek after God. Uh,
Yeah, no, well, yeah, that's yeah, I suppose I don't come away from like looking at Pope Leo. Pope Leo strikes me as a very holy man. Um, some people may disagree, but I'm very impressed and edified by
I
his
feel like you're
example.
required to say that. He is
No,
literally called the Holy Father. So
there are definitely popes in church history that we called the Holy Father. They might not be very holy. Um,
fair.
uh, some of them in more obvious ways than others. um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think yeah, that's what's interesting about the word salvation. Like the word salvation is related to the word salve, you know, like the word salvation also means healing. So um, uh, uh, being saved by grace, not by works, so that none of us may boast. That may very well, Paul may be leaning more into that justification aspect of salvation. I have no problem with that. I will point out that even the work of aligning my will, my heart to be more like God's heart, that is also something that I can't do on my own. That is something that is God leads and I cooperate. Um, the limiting factor is always going to be how much I'm willing to cooperate, you know, because God is always like ready to go further, you know. There is no
Yeah.
shortage to how many graces God wants to give me. But when I say yes to God and cooperate with the act of with his great work of sanctification in my life, that is me, that is still by grace. That is not my own work that I can boast in. That is cooperating with God's grace. Still do need to cooperate though. My will does need to be engaged.
Yeah. There it is a little bit of a side tangent, but it is in regard to what you said, and I think is really beautiful. And I know how Catholics like their beautiful things. Are you familiar with the painting? I think it was Michelangelo, the painting create the creation of Adam.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
classic.
it's very you see, it is literally a classic. um, but for those who you don't know, I bet you do know it. You just don't know it by name. It is the one where you see a man and you see God reaching their arms out and almost touching.
Yeah.
And I saw a analysis of this week. You may have seen it as well, that I thought was really neat, about the fingers and how on the God side, God's phalange is completely extended, and on they don't touch, but Adam is just like not into it. But they drew out where it would reach if he were to fully extend, and they would touch. But he's
Wow.
just right here, implying, like, I don't know if Michelangelo meant this or not, but in the implication that God is always right there, like you just said, willing and ready to draw us out. The separation is our measure of drawing close to Him, or our measure of
Wow.
how we will align or cooperate. And I thought that was really cool. So way
That
to go,
is.
Michelangelo.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. You're going to look at that painting differently now.
Yeah. Rainbow in the chat says a reference that Peter gets. All right. Well,
did you
how
see anything
delightful.
else in the chat that stood out? If not, then
Chat complimented us a couple times. I don't have time for
thanks,
that.
chat.
Thank you, chat. You're very nice. Yeah, no, I think this was a really good talk. That I
Agreed.
enjoyed quite a bit. Thank you for it.
Thank you. I'm gonna try to do a better job this week of preparing and reading some older law, and maybe like fleshing out my thoughts about Jesus and changing the law, and be able to let you know. You'll hear from me in a DM if I'm like, yeah, let's talk about this some more, or however we go forward. So you'll hear from me. I won't catch you off guard.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've kind of been dominating the pacing of the conversations. I'm going to take notes on what's my next thing to take notes on? Leviticus. I'm going to dive deeper into Leviticus, which we've touched on briefly. Well, we talked quite a bit about, but I'm going to focus on it for a minute. But also, whether we follow my notes or follow your notes, that's fine. I'll just have.
It sounds like we're about to dive into the same thing. I'm sending you to Mosaic Law, and I'm also sending me to Mosaic Law, so to learn a little bit more. So sounds like we're kind of going the same direction.
Yeah, Leviticus 17 talks about blood.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Sweet.
I do. Thanks. Yeah. I just realized I had thoughts, but I'm going to be quiet. I was looking forward in my notes. I'll let you know what it is. We're not going to talk about it, but I was looking forward in my notes to Galatians 4 and 5, where Paul says that God sent his son, born of a woman, born under the law, to redeem those under the law. And so now we got to talk about what under that law looks like. But I like your idea that, you know, he's superseding it. So I'm going to keep looking into that. We don't need to talk about it anymore. You have a lovely predisposition. Thank you for letting me say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it looks like my voice changed to robot right here at the end.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, I guess it's not the OBS settings. I think we're leaving Twitch stream together for a different video conference app. Thank you, chat. Sorry.
Yep. Yep. It will get better. Guys, thank you so much for listening here live. We really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to catch this live without the ability to like rewind or move forward if you missed something, you know. But if you did miss things, we post this up on as an archive version every single week on almost every podcasting platform that you could enjoy. I'm still fighting with the people over at Apple. We're trying to get there, but we're on basically everything else, minus
tough.
YouTube. But Peter and I have been talking about that, and so we might be seeing some little Google action in the future. You know, we'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much, though. If you listen, go ahead, so Peter.
Maybe we get on YouTube and we start getting attention from like Trent Horn, Gospel Simplicity, Voice of Reason.
Oh, if we make you definitely better believe that if Tangled Christianity has a YouTube channel, this guy named Webby Pumpkin is going to be commenting like, "At Trent Horn, check these guys out. Aren't they so cool?"
Yeah, I'll start jumping into their streams under the Tangled Christianity and just start typing and say, "Hi."
I love that idea. Love what you're doing here. Follow for follow.
Wow.
No.
Oh, amazing. All right. Well, wonderful. Thank you for your time, everybody. I look forward to next week where we dive a little bit into more blood. Next week, it gets bloody. And yeah, Webby, delightful conversation. Went a little bit deeper into the weeds than I was fully prepared to, but I'm glad we did because that was a really good conversation.
I agree. That was great.
All right, great.
Yep. Well, thank you for these Bible studies with me every week. And guys, thanks for listening. I don't have anything else to say. Do you?
Just the sign off, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, God bless and ciao.
Got it. Well done, friend.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to leave these out because I'm going to remind myself to read them more. I put them on the shelf and I ended up not reading it much this week. So I'm going to put it back on my end table in the living room.
Yeah, I'm struggling to find the right pacing of when to read and study, but also like the thing with this research is that you can always do more, you know? And so sometimes being okay with, hey, I could do more research, but I can give myself a break or work on other things, you know. That's been a challenge. Figuring it out though.
My whole thing is changing because of just work changing.
Yeah.
I should have more time. In a lot of ways I do, but I used to have a lot of driving time, like a lot of car time. Well, we've already alluded to it when we chatted. And so I used to get to listen to a lot. And I guess I can kind of still do that, but it's harder. Yeah.
When I was taking Game of Favorites around the country on the road, a lot of driving, a lot of podcasts. These days, not so much. Like I try to get a walk in every day, and I reward myself with Powerade. Solid strategy. CalMage showed up and I died. Oh, it's CalMage's fault.
But CalMage showed up under my URL. So so he's okay. You're good, CalMage, with me.
Clyde says, thought you were pretty cool and have an amazing beard. Also, I redeemed a hydrate and a prayer request. If you can do that. If not, don't worry about it. It's fine. I can definitely hydrate. Do you want to?
I'll hydrate right now. Sorry about
prayer
that.
Request?
Yeah. Let me look at unspoken. Yeah. You want to just pray? We had one of those earlier. Would you be open to just praying for those right now?
Yeah. Absolutely.
How do you want to do this? Or Catholic prayer is different? So kidding a little bit, but.
The other day, Scruffy asked us, are Catholics allowed to spontaneously pray? The answer is yes. I don't like to, but yes, we are. No, I'm happy to follow your prayer. 100%.
Okay. Do Catholics pray in Jesus' name?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, a lot of the formal prayers that we end, you'll notice there's two formulas that we end with that are very common. One is one invokes the entire Trinity, and the other is like, especially if the prayer is directed directly to Jesus, then we'll end with like, you who live forever and ever. I suppose that's not exactly the same as in Jesus's name, but yeah. We
All
like
right.
praying in Jesus' name is great. We start with in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit a lot of times.
Oh,
Which
so
is,
you're kind of already doing it.
yeah, we're
You're just-
kind of,
it's on the other side.
not to brag, but you know that superstitious thing that we get in trouble for? Kind of
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. Through
I'm
Christ
not
our Lord is also
superstitious.
very common. Yeah, 100%.
I'm a
Yeah.
little stitious.
Just a little stitious.
Well, yeah, if you want, I'll lead that real quick and just kind of knock the two out. Not that it's just something on our checklist, guys, but I want to be, genuine about the prayer request to do that. So
Yeah,
let's do
I
it.
think that's important. Do it.
Cool. God, thank you so much for Peter and this community and these conversations that we get to have every single week where we draw closer to you. And no matter what the answers are, no matter where we land, God, I just want that to be closer to you. And I pray that you help us in that and then you guide us. We had 2 prayer requests tonight, God, and I pray that you would minister to each according to their need and according to your will, God. Preferably in a way that brings you glory and brings you the most glory. An unspoken one for Clyde. Whatever is going on there, God, we just lift Clyde up to you. God, we pray that you would encourage and strengthen and fortify Clyde as well as is anything else that's needed. God, just remember, maybe remind him tonight of the Michelangelo painting, and that as we put our faith in you, and the closer we seek after you, the more we want to be with you, God. That you are always right there, ready for that. Like you're not pulling away from us. If anything, you're pushing into us. And God, earlier for Bubble Butt, whose name I don't know, and it feels weird because I've never prayed for Bubble Butt, but you know her. God, in this journey of infertility or struggling to carry to term, God, you know what it is to suffer and to mourn. God, I pray that you would just fortify them. God, if it's your will for them to have a child, God, I pray that you would bring that to fruition. But whatever your will is, God, that you would encourage them and love them. You know what it is to lose a son, and you know what it is to to love and to mourn and to want things that don't happen the way that you would will them. God, there's I'm sure a lot of doubt and a lot of hurt in the way that she and her husband are feeling. God, I pray you would just encourage them and let them know, remind them of your love and how outstanding that is. That you will always love them, you'll always be there for them, and as well for them. God, remind them that the more that they lean into you, the more that they'll find you. God, we love you. We're so grateful for you and for these opportunities. And it is in Jesus' name that we pray this. Amen.
Amen.
You're good, bro.
Well, thank you. All right. What
I almost altered it. I almost altered it to the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit at the end. And but I didn't want it to be in poor taste. I don't think you would have taken it that way.
No.
But I just wanted to respect you as well as I could. So
no, that would have been just fine. Yeah, you know how like Revelation talks about seals and be sealed with the Holy Spirit and all that. The signing ourselves in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit is a reference to that. Like the seal that we are under is the seal of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and renewing that.
I think it's kind of beautiful. I know that I still can't figure out if there's a rhyme or reason or like the history behind left to right or right to left, but I think there's some beauty in it. Oh, do you just know off the top of your head? You're just gonna tell me?
A little bit, yeah. I believe that in the I believe that in the West. So like when the Father, hold on, yeah, when the Father blesses like this, that's customary in both the West and the East, right? Going back to early church. So in the West, we would like when the priest moves his hand left and then to right, we would do the same. We would move our hand to the left and then to the right. But in the East, they would follow the same direction. Like, so since he went left, but they're facing the other way, then they would follow the same way. I believe, I don't know how firm this is, but I've heard that the two different traditions mostly came out of that difference of, do you follow it like a mirror or do you follow like you're rotated 180 degrees? And I mean, both of them are fine as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. I think
That's been my point. I don't know if it really matters each direction.
no, yeah, it's just custom at that point. It's the sign of the cross because we're remembering the gift that Christ gave us, and we're remembering the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, and
Yeah.
putting ourselves in their name. I mean, what matters, what's most important is as best as you can to try to say it with your heart more than just with your lips. Like let it have meaning, which is, hard to do.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But there you go. Good times.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks, chat, for being here. And Peter, I could thank you over and over and over again. How would you like to proceed with tonight, though? Because I don't see chat rolling, so I think there's a whole lot of after chat. So we could do our Tangled raid, or you could go ahead and start your 24-hour stream right now.
Oh, no, I'm not doing a 24-hour stream tonight. That's for sure. I just set a new goal for Game of Favorites. I haven't chosen what the reward is going to be for the goal yet. Jens and I have been deliberating. I want to get to 300,000 votes in Game of Favorites history. Right now, we're at 122,000.
And these continue to roll, right? Or is this in one shoot? Okay.
No, we
will hit the goal. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. So right now we're getting about 1,000 a day. I mean, 1,000 an episode. If we bring in a lot of people, then we hit that goal faster. If we don't, it'll take a while.
I posit the idea that if we hit 300,000, that you fly me out so that it can be hosted by P. Tony, but different.
Ooh, how far away are you?
I'm not. I don't know precisely where you are, but I can get an estimate. I want to say when I looked, it was like 10 hours or something. Hold on, let me look.
Well, I was looking for a number close to 300,000 that I could do on stream. The idea came up.
Ooh.
I could walk 300,000 feet, but that's 54 miles.
Are you comfortable? And you can do it offline. You can message me. Are you comfortable giving me a city or something that I can put in, and I'll tell you what we're looking at?
You can put in Charlotte.
Okay,
that's roughly where I am. Goodbye.
Right.
So
if
many
I were, let's do that from where I am right now. We would be looking. This is about to be wild. We would be looking at 630 miles, but it's 9 hours and 37-minute drive.
Wonder how much that would be in meters.
And a big roadblock in Atlanta. Go figure.
300,000 seconds is 84 hours. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
300.
Okay. It's 21 hours if I take a train. We could use that. 21 hours on a train. I don't want to do that, Peter. I do want to ride a train. I don't want to ride a train for a day. Actually, there's probably 3 meals involved with that, and you don't have to do anything, but just it's probably actually not too bad because it's on. I imagine I'd be more comfortable on a train for 21 hours than driving for 10. Actually,
I would love to ride a train, but when I looked at the pricing, because it sounds like a more comfortable plane ride, basically, but it sounds like. I mean, when I looked at prices, the prices are terrible. The prices are the same as an airplane, but it takes longer.
Yeah. 3 days for me to bike it.
300,000 grains of rice when it's uncooked is just shy of 4 gallons.
I want to know how many
rice.
cities. How many cities or towns would I pass through? That's got to be closer to 3,000 cities away or something.
Maybe.
I might be trying to. I'm forcing a square peg into a round hole, but
me too.
I'm trying.
Me too.
Because that'd be so cool.
Cloveless, thanks for the follow. Welcome in.
Here I am trying to plan another amount of time away, knowing I'm about to go to New York, and I still haven't bought my Reach ticket. I think we had 95 sold. I may not get $10 off with my own code. Oh no. I need to look at that.
Yep.
Oops.
Yep.
Oh well.
300,000 second ray train with Game of Favors. We were talking about doing a P-Tony ray train where I'll stream for most of the day. But then while I'm sleeping, other people take the raid train and then stream back and then raid back into me. There's potential for that. It sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
But
or you can still sleep and not. I mean, if you didn't raid, you could do what others do and like get
sleep on
some
stream.
really interactive. I don't like that. I like the idea of like okay,
having a
so
VOD.
Well, okay, so I like what Point Crow did. He has a fish, and he ran a program where he had a game playing, but different quadrants of the camera were a different input. So the fish played the game while he slept, and so it was pretty cool.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, so something like that, or something that's highly interactive for chat, but that isn't like, words on stream the entire time. Like something they can still do and be there for. But yeah. You have animals. I don't know if they would cooperate well enough to do something like that.
Oh, the animals.
You fly me up to take the midnight shift on your channel.
Perfect.
And, or you wouldn't even have to do that. Well, if you don't want to end, you would. And so I say you could be very brave and give me your stream key. That'd be very brave.
It would be brave.
I mean, I wouldn't do anything bad with it, but that's still a brave thing.
It's fairly brave. Yeah, I think I could trust you. You can reset your stream key afterwards if you feel nervous about it.
Twitch does specifically warn you though, do not share this.
They do. Yeah. We break that rule sometimes. I thought about getting a treadmill and just keep walking, but that's 54 miles. No, hold on. 300,000 steps is actually 150 miles. That's
whoa.
A lot. If 300,000 feet is 50 miles. If a step is about 3 feet, then all of a sudden you're talking about 150. Which is a lot.
How many cities are...
That's a tough question to even formulate. Like, I don't know how I would calculate that if I had the data in front of me. Like, how close does a city need to be off the route for it to count? You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's only one major city between us. I bet it's freaking Atlanta. Let's see. That's not what I wanted to know, AI overview.
How helpful.
We will find a way.
Everyone here, if you did not hear this today, you are enough and deserve love and the very best set of life. Thank you, The Real Madness. You too.
300,000
inches is about 5 miles, which is unmotivating.
300,000. Okay, 300,000 car lengths.
That's going to be... Well, how long is a car?
That's a great question. I don't know. Let's look at our friend ChatGTP. I know he liked them. A car is approximately 14.7 feet. So if you're looking at 4,410 feet. How many feet are in a mile? Isn't it like 5,800 something?
I thought it was like 1,000 something. How many feet in a mile? Oh, okay, 5,280.
I was close. 5,280. Why did I remember that? But I promise you right now, I cannot tell you the difference in a kilometer and a mile. Right here off the top. I don't like... Okay.
I only remember
I didn't know.
Kilometers and miles because roughly 100 kilometers per hour is 60 miles per hour. Roughly.
I see what you're doing there to do it. What do you say? 3,280? 3,280. So we're looking at... Oh, we were so close. It's 1,344 miles.
We overshot it. We overshot it by half. We doubled it.
Well, just get a smaller car.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Okay. We need a car that is 8 feet, right? Roughly.
How many miles did you
No.
say? Is it
How many
total?
miles? Total miles. Let me go through my history. Is what did I say it was? Divided by 5280, 5280. Wait. I messed up. I did something wrong in my calculator. Why is my history failing me? Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just remember that 1320 feet is a quarter mile because that's a drag strip, and I like to watch 1320 videos on YouTube.
Divided by 5280. I was wrong. How did I do my math wrong there? 52. Wait. Am I missing
how
step?
How many miles are we working with from you to me?
Well, I'm making sure I'm doing my math right. So it's 14.7 feet, and I multiplied that by 300,000. That's how many feet we have. Then I would divide that by 5,280. So I told you wrong. It's only 835.2 miles. And the actual distance is like 600. What if I start at the coast?
Wait, it's 600 miles from me to you?
Roughly. But that's from where I am right now. But hear me out. If I were to fly it, the closest airport that wouldn't be absolutely ridiculous price to fly out of is New Orleans, which means I've got to go roughly 2 hours south. That would probably make up the 200 miles. So I'd be flying. I don't know if I imagine there's an airport in Charlotte, but that tells me I'd be flying New Orleans to Charlotte. New Orleans to Charlotte.
Close.
That might be our number because that's where I'd fly out of. I could fly out of somewhere in our state, but I kid you not, the ticket will be like double the price if I do.
If we find a car,
I can't believe I'm holding you on the internet right now.
Yeah. If we find something that's 10.5 feet long, then that's roughly our distance of what we need 300,000 of.
New Orleans to Charlotte is 715 miles. It's close. It's so close.
Count it. Count it. It's so convoluted though. What are we going to do to celebrate 300,000? Well, Webby is going to drive 300,000 car legs. Who's Webby? What? Why?
Maybe we'll tangle Christianity this. How tall is a Roman cross?
That varies.
All right. AI says that the cross that Jesus was crucified on was likely 7 to 9 feet tall. There we go. If it's 9 feet tall, now we've shaved off what we needed from the car length because it was 14. I'm flying 300,000 Jesuses crosses. This is a crucifixed outcome, but we did it.
Webby will listen to 300,000 words from a Catholic friend.
I may have already hit my quota on that one.
Yeah. 300,000 words. Interesting. There is some potential there. We'll figure it out. We've got time at this point. At this rate, we're like 180 episodes away until we start getting more votes in, which is like over 3 years. So tell your friends to watch Game of Favorites and buy bonus votes with channel points.
I know what we're going to do. The average American home is estimated to contain approximately 300,000 items. So at that moment, Peter is going to sell everything he owns. I'm going to have way too much fun with this.
To follow Jesus. That's right. Yenza will love this idea. 300,000 items. What do you count as an item? I've got like 5 sticky notes up there. Do each of those count as an item?
I listened to AI overview. I didn't go too deep.
300,000 pounds of new pets. Holy crap. No. No. All right. Well, should we find someone to raid? I'm
Yeah, we
getting
should.
terrified by the ideas here.
Oh, I'm gonna come up with a perfect one that's gonna work great.
Did we do it? Did we abolish the law? We did, sort of. Depends what you mean.
Yeah. No, we fulfilled it. We didn't.
Yeah. We abolished
I believe.
cat boys.
Do you remember which of us picked the person last time? I don't remember. Not that really matters, but
I don't remember. No.
Well, I know we go here a lot, but Pri is apparently doing a subathon.
Oh, she is. Yeah, let's support a subathon, especially for Pri.
Tangled sub raid. Yeah.
Oops.
Abolished raid.
Subathon, but
yeah, that sounds like a plan
not.
for me.
Subathon,
Wait, but not.
Continues?
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Okay. Abolished law, but not raid.
Yeah, basically.
That's kind of what it was.
That's what we got down to. That's my position. It's kind of abolished, but not, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well,
if you like squint your eyes, it's kind of abolished.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of, it's abolished, but different.
Christian anarchy, but not. Oh my gosh.
I'll have you all know that Father Evan showed me to a bunch of other priests and they loved me. It's true. That's true. Father Evan was saying that one of his coworkers was talking about being the first Catholic VTuber. And Father Evan said, Mom, you won't be the first. Here's some that I know.
So if anyone wants to copy this, abolish the law, but not Jesus. Raid quoted Jesus. Wait, hold on, needs quotation points. Oh, no, he didn't say it like that. I'm not going to quote Jesus.
What a mess. What a mess. All right, I'm game.
I'm game. Let's do it.
Pri is going to be very confused. Good luck to her.
That's my favorite way for her to be.
Yeah. It's good.
Good deal. Well, I will see you over there. I just went ahead and hit the button. But thank you for tonight. It was a good time.
Yeah, it sure was. Thank you too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk to you
friend.
Next week, if not sooner.
I'm certain it will be sooner.
Take care, Webby.
See you, buddy.
Take care, chat. God bless and ciao.
Bye. Bye, chat.
Rapid pumpkin on the rise, streaming joy you can't disguise. Every game and every prize lights up smiles in our eyes. Playing hard and shouting loud, Webby draws a crazy crowd. With each click and every shout, every day the fun is found. Webby pumpkin, feel the beat, streaming live can't be beat. With the vibe and energy, Webby pumpkin sets us free. Late night streams and morning grinds keeps the laughter in our minds. Ton of fun, just feel the vibes. Every moment, pure delight. Webby pumpkin, feel the beat. Streaming live can't be beat. With the vibe and energy, Webby pumpkin sets us free. Webby pumpkin, feel the beat. Streaming live can't be beat. With the vibe and energy, Webby pumpkin sets us free. Late night streams and morning grinds keeps the laughter in our minds. Ton of fun, just feel the vibes. Every moment, pure delight. Webby pumpkin, feel the beat. Streaming live can't be beat. With the vibe and energy, Webby pumpkin sets us free. Pumpkin vibes so electrifying, keeps the spirit Carrots always flying, every moment so inviting. Webby pumpkin never tiring.